Ajax lost to Arsenal by 1-0. Yeah, what can I say? I mean, before the game started, if you watch my match preview, I basically said that I thought Arsenal would destroy us. I definitely said Arsenal. I thought Arsenal would destroy us. Okay, lucky enough, it ended as a 1-0 loss to us. Sure, we had a few chances, but if I'm being honest, we're not good enough, man. We're just not good enough. Like, honestly, at this point, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I mean, usually when I do my match reactions for the Man United games, I start by going through what happened to the game throughout the game. Like right now, as we speak, I've got the game playing here, or the highlights really. They basically doing the post match analysis. I'm seeing Garnacho busy shooting wide and doing nonsense here. You know, there's this thing with Man United fans, right? It's like if a player is too young, you can't criticize him. Like we must just talk as if players are the only players basically who we're allowed to criticize as Man United fans are the senior players, which is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense if you ask me. Um, but anyways, please before I continue, please just let me know in the chat, guys. Is the volume there? Can you guys hear me? Can you not? Because I mean, I had a problem last time where I thought you guys could hear me, but you apparently couldn't. So, guys, please let me know in the chat. Can you guys hear me? I'm already seeing lots of chats here from Max. Yo, Max, just let me know. Can you hear me there, or you can't hear me? Is the audio coming out proper, loud and clear? Alright, cool. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna get to the chats. I just wanna give a bit of a. I'll just give a bit of a. I'll just go through the game and then I'll get to the chats because I can see the chats are coming as we speak. So for everyone that's live, please click on the like button already. Let's get the like buttons. Let's get the like numbers up. Okay, I see there's a lot of people coming through. People are saying the volume is fine. They can hear me loud and clear. Please just hit the like button on your way in, guys. Please just let's get the like numbers up. I see them; they're going up slowly but surely. But let's keep on hitting the like button, and then we can get through this basically shit show of a performance for Man United. So I don't even know where to start. Do I start with player ratings or do I just go through what I saw? Let me start with just how I saw the game, right? So there's actual idiots who believe Man United played well today. Believe it or not, as shocking as that sounds, they're actual fools who actually support Man United, who believe we played well. I've got fucking Johnny Evans. There he is. He's doing a post-match reaction. It was his fucking fault. We considered the first goal, by the way. In fact, the whole back four, apart from Delo, because I saw here, I can't even hear. The volume is low for obvious reasons. I put it on mute so I can't copyright reasons. But basically, before I get back to this idiot Johnny Evans, there's a moron who's saying Man United played well. We didn't get dominated. We made Arsenal sit back and defend. You absolute fools. If anyone believes that is a fool, they are an absolute fool. The reason I say this, if you've been watching Arsenal's games in the past few games, especially in the big games, what they do is they basically, teams like us, like Man United, they know Man United like to play on the counter, right? So what's the best way of playing against a team that wants to play on the counter? You sit back, let them have the ball, and guess what? They won't do fuck all. Man United will never. We could have played for 3 days straight against this Arsenal side, and we wouldn't have scored a single goal. We wouldn't have scored a single goal. We could have played for 3 fucking days, and we wouldn't have scored a single goal. And yet I'm being told, oh no, we played well. Why are you complaining? We only lost 1-0. Yes, like I said, going into the game, I predicted we'd get hammered 5-1. I said my head is saying we're going to get hammered 5-1. By my heart, you know the heart is stupid. I'm a Man United fan. Of course, I'm going to think maybe something's going to happen. I said my heart says we're going to win flipping 2-1. But I knew deep down in my heart, that in my head, that we're gonna lose. But when I see a performance like that, it just fucking frustrates me, man. I mean, this is one part where I can give Ten Hag a pass. Don't get me wrong, Ten Hag still needs to go. He still needs to get sacked. But if you look at the players we had to play today, we had fucking Johnny Evans, who's 38 at centre back. We've got Casemiro, who looks like he's 50, playing centre back. He is rubbish. This season he's been rubbish. We've got players like Aaron Wan-Bissaka starting for us. We've got the likes of flipping Amrabat. Oh my God. Another one that Eric Ten Hag cried for. He said he wanted Amrabat. He was one of his main targets when it comes to midfielders this summer. We got Amrabat. He is shit. So slow. The amount of times he gave the ball away in possession. He can't make a simple 5-yard pass. He keeps on passing away sideways. I'm like, bro, it's a simple 5-yard pass Amrabat can make. We've got players like fucking Scott McTominay. He wore the armband, by the way, today. Scott McTominay was Manchester United's captain in a game against Arsenal. A game in which maybe we can, I don't know, try and derail their title hopes. We fucking had Scott McTominay as the captain. And did you see him? He was a ghost. As always, Scott McTominay did what Scott McTominay does. He hid. He was nowhere to be seen in that game. I don't remember a single time when Scott McTominay stepped up and actually demanded the ball to be passed to him and actually played some good football. Not once. You've got the likes of fucking, what's this guy's name? Rasmus Højlund. Trash. Rasmus Højlund is trash. I don't care what anyone says. I do not care what anybody says. That boy is not good enough. The amount of times we're giving him the ball and we're looking for him to hold the ball up, bring the teammates into play, but he can't handle it. Whenever he gets the ball, Saliba just comes, dispossesses him. If not him, Gabriel just comes and takes it. They are marking him like a little baby. All he wants to do is wrestle these guys, wrestle these guys. He's a big guy. He's a unit. He's what, 6'4", but he's so soft. So soft. He can't defend. No, rather, he can't hold the ball up. He can't even control the ball. Talk less of shooting. Did he even have a shot today, Rasmus Højlund? Because I don't remember any. Then we've got that flipping idiot Garnacho. He struggles to beat his man. The few occasions that he actually does beat his man, he's either shooting wide, he's hitting the side netting, he's just doing nonsense. Oh, Man United are in trouble. We're in trouble, man. We're honestly in trouble. I don't know what's going on here. I genuinely don't know what's going on. But like I said, if you're currently watching live and you haven't hit the like button already, please hit the like button. Let me just go through a few comments and then I'm gonna get back to the game. The first one here, Max says, I hope no Arsenal fan is celebrating the victory because we as Man United fans are not surprised by the defeat. Exactly. I don't think there's a single Man United fan who can honestly say, hand to heart, I was shocked that Man United lost. Any Man United fan knew going into this game, like I said, my prediction was, we're going to hammer it 5-1. The only surprise I had was, it was only 1-0. And that was because Arsenal were like, you know what? Let's just sit back. We'll get chances. These guys are useless. Leave them. Let them have the ball. They won't create anything. And guess what? We had the ball, but we did nothing with the ball. Absolutely nothing. You know? Let me see another comment. Okay, I've already read that, but from Mr. Max. Where's Benny McCarthy? I'm not quite sure. What I do know, or what I saw on Twitter, was apparently there's been problems with Benny. I don't know how true they are. Don't quote me on this. Don't take my word for it. I just saw a report on Twitter saying that apparently whether Ten Hag gets sacked or not in the end of the season, we're definitely gonna keep Benny McCarthy. So sorry, Benny's going to be sacked, regardless of whether Ten Hag stays or goes. Benny's apparently going to be sacked. So apparently he's not been very professional, which is a bit disappointing because as a fellow South African, I would have loved for him to represent us as South Africans well, you know. I mean, you're at Man United, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Surely you can be professional, but apparently he hasn't, so he's apparently getting sacked. So I'm not even sure if he's still at Old Trafford or does he still have a job right now or has he already been sacked. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, Radu Gaga says, lost. That was not a shocking result, really. Exactly, it wasn't a shocking result. Any Man United fan who's been watching us since the beginning of the season knows that life under Eric Ten Hag is shit. I'm sorry, but we're bad. We are so bad. Like, we literally make anyone look good. The only reason some people are actually getting twanged into thinking Man United dominated the game today, we controlled the game, we had possession. Arsenal literally just sat back. It's a simple tactic, guys. If you want to play Man United, there's two ways you can kill us. Either press the life out of us, be on us the whole time, be on top of us, and you're going to kill us. Or sit back, literally on a low block, give us the ball, and I promise you we can't create anything. We cannot create anything. I mean, we had Scott McTominay as our number 10 today, remember, just so you know. Scott McTominay was playing literally right behind Rasmus Højlund as the number 10. So we basically had a front four of Garnacho, McTominay, Amad Diallo, and Rasmus Højlund. That is a poor front four. The only technical player in that entire front four was Amad Diallo, who I thought was our best player today. Some people are trying to gaslight me into believing Garnacho had a good game. I'm gonna get to him when it comes to the player ratings. Anyways, let me just go through the rest of the comments. What is he saying? Felicity says, we can hear you. Shout out Felicity. It's been a minute. I just realized who you are. Tanyani says volumes okay. Okay. Who's this? Nkulu Lego says, firstly take off the jacket. Why would I take off my jacket, bro? This is a Man United jacket. I know we lost, but come on, bro. Respect the jacket. This is a retro vibes. Respect the retro thingies, bro. Max says best player was Amra, but as far as the season went, he's been the worst player on the roster. Yes, he has been awful. He has been. He's been poor. But I just thought today he looked very good when it came to getting the ball, winning the ball back for us, right? He made some big tackles. I won't lie, I'll give him that. He was good at that. Where he did let me down is when now we're trying to go on the transition to try and attack, maybe create something. Like we're trying to go on the counter. He's going backward or sideways, or there's a point where I don't know, it's right in the beginning of the second, or maybe around the 60th minute. We were trying to go on the counter. The ball drops to Amrabat. Instead of just quickly giving it to Main, who's right in front of him, who they can maybe hit a through pass to, I don't know, either Garnacho or Højlund or Ahmed. Amrabat decides to turn back, literally go back and gives the ball back to Casemiro. The crowd literally groans, and I can tell they're frustrated because what the fuck are you doing? Move the ball forward, you know? But anyways, it was a mixed game for Amrabat, if I'm being honest. It was a mixed one for me. I thought his passing was awful, absolutely poor. He can't pass anything. But the defensive side, he was all right. It wasn't great, but he was all right. Let me see what else is there. United is a perfect team to expose the worst side of players. You're right. But that's not just only down to United. That's also down to our manager, Max. Our manager is absolutely rubbish. This guy, I saw a quote during the week of Don Carlo Ancelotti. Part of my top 3 goats when it comes to managers. I saw him say what he does, because they asked him how his management style is of these players. And what he said was, what he does is he basically, before the game, he gives them instructions on how to set up tactically. Like, if the team's supposed to be compact, it's supposed to be compact. If they're supposed to go all out, they go all out. But he said, as soon as the players go out or go past that touch line or the white line, he tells the players to just go and express themselves. Go be your best. Go do your best. However, if he can tell, for example, that like when Militao was injured and we had no centre backs, our only fit centre back was Rudiger. He plays Nacho, right? But if Nacho also got injured, when Nacho also got injured throughout the season, guess who we played at centre back? Aurelien Tchouameni. He says, Tchouameni, you're someone who I think can actually play in the centre back role, so I'll put you in centre back. Guess what? Tchouameni is quick, is strong, and physical. He can actually play some good football. So he can actually, his main position is a CDM, is a defensive midfielder. But Don Carlo puts him at centre back because he says, what? This is a good guy. He can actually play in centre back. Funny enough, this fucking idiot Ten Hag is on the screen now. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. But I'm sure he's coming up with some waffle about how Man United were great today. This absolute prick. Great. What I'm trying to say basically is great managers adapt to the players they have. Like, if you can see that I have no centre backs right now at this point, right? Try and then, because clearly you have no centre backs, no defenders for you, which are fit to play for you. Try and make sure that the team isn't as exposed. Stop this nonsense where he says we want to play with a high press but a low block. Because now what that does is you've got our attackers very high up the pitch and our defenders sitting at the back, which exposes our midfield. Which means that what? Kobe Mainu, who I love Kobe, I think he's a baller. But we can all tell he's not the quickest of players. He wants to control the ball. He wants to dictate the tempo of the game. Now, you expose him against quick midfielders, strong midfielders. You also expose the likes of Christian Eriksen, who we all know his legs are gone. Eriksen was once a great midfielder, but he's finished. Scott McTominay is just a ghost. I don't know what that guy does. I said it before. If you want to play the likes of Scott McTominay, these are the guys you bring onto the game in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game. Put him in the box, just whip crosses it. The only thing McTominay can do is head a ball. He can't pass, he can't shoot. He's not good enough. Such players we should be getting rid of. So when it comes to this idiot Ten Hag, he is still gonna expose the weaknesses of players. Someone like Casemiro. I know Casemiro has been awful, don't get me wrong. But he's been exposed even by Ten Hag's system. When you play him in the middle, like I said, Ten Hag wants to play with a high press but low block. So now you've got your attackers are high up the pitch, your defenders are sitting back, your midfield's exposed. When Casemiro's in midfield, guess what? With Kobe Mainu and Bruno Fernandes, all of them are getting overrun. Why? We're getting exposed because there's nothing in the middle of the park. These are basic tactics that Erik ten Hag simply refuses to take on. I mean, honestly, just try and put a tactical team in a way which you think it's going to hide the deficiencies of your players. But no, if anything, Ten Hag exposes the deficiencies of our players. I mean, what is this? We're playing fucking Johnny Evans in 2024. You're trying to tell me there's no kid, no centre back from the youth academy we can bring on. Like, maybe he'll give us more. There's no centre back we can play, we can bring on to play for us. Nah, guys. Nah, man. Let me see. Maxwell says, how is Scott captain and when he's a bench player? Erik ten Hag is starting to seem like he does not know what he's doing and his excuse is injury. You're saying he's starting to seem like he doesn't know what he's doing. Ten Hag has been giving us evidence that he doesn't know what he's doing since the beginning of the season. Last season, I was willing to give the guy a chance. I said, you know what? Let's be fair. Ten Hag didn't have the players, you know? So it's fine. Let him go into the transfer market, buy more players that he might want. What did Ten Hag go and do? He went and spent 70 million pounds on that useless guy, Rasmus Højlund. He went and spent, Anthony was last time. He went and spent 50 million pounds on that even bigger idiot, Andre Onana. He went and spent 65 million pounds on fucking Mason Mount, who's been useless all season. He went and paid a 10 million pound loan, 10 million pound loan for that useless Amrabat. In total, Erik ten Hag, since he came to Man United, he spent 400 million pounds. And yet people want to talk about he's not been backed. What kind of backing do you want, bruh? You spent 400 million pounds, you just spent it poorly. You've been backed, you just spent the money poorly. You cannot complain about not being backed and wanting more players. Hence, I never understand these fools who says, no, give Ten Hag one more year. To do what? To waste more money. To fucking go buy more idiotic signings. This fucker was talking about, he's still on the screen even now. I don't know what the fuck he's saying. How come is this interview so long? What is he saying? If anyone's watching his post-match reaction, please let me know in the chat. But anyways, why would Ten Hag be given more money when he's shown us already? He is so bad. His talent ID is so bad. Now, granted, I know Man United are getting like a new backroom stuff, and these guys are like a director of football, sporting director, a new CEO, guys who will be in charge of transfers. But we all know one of the biggest things which are apparently on Ten Hag's clause was when he joined Man United, he said he needed to be part of the the decision makers when it came to players who were signed. He said he needed to have a say in which player we sign and which players we get rid of. So this is a guy who was given all of that, but he still fucked it. So my thing is, sack him, get a new manager, and let's move on. It's as simple as that. But anyways, let me go through the rest of the comments. Felicity says, my brother says Ten Hag is not the problem. Is your brother on drugs? Or what? Like honestly, like what the fuck? No offense, but what's wrong with your brother? Maybe tell me. Ask your brother. Let him join the live. Let him tell me who the problem is. Maybe I can hear someone's side. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm too hasty. I don't know. Let him tell us who the problem is if Ten Hag is not the problem. Tanya in the Friday, Man City fan, he's just dying. He's just out here dying. You know, we thought we'd do you a favor. We thought we'd get a young draw, but yeah. To be fair, I want Arsenal to win the league. But today's results just pissed me off, man. It was so annoying. Anyways, Felicity says, shout out. Ngulego says, honestly speaking, a real reshuffle is a must before the start of 2024-25 season because Man United is a big team and they cannot afford to continue disappointing their fans. Yo, Ngulego, you've hit the nail on the head. We need to get rid. I'm not one of those guys. In as much as I want Ten Hag to go, I'm not one of those people who say it's all on Ten Hag. Ten Hag is a big problem. For me, I think he's an even bigger problem than the players. But in as much as Ten Hag is an even bigger problem, the players are also a big problem. I did a video, I think about 2 weeks ago. If you haven't watched it already, I literally said, start, bench, sell. I think in about 25 or 26 players that I mentioned that currently play for Manchester United, I think only 5 or 6 I said were good enough to stay at this club. And of that 5 or 6, maybe 3 of them weren't even good enough. Maybe it's like we're going to give you one more season. You get what I'm saying? I said we're going to give you one more season to see if you can actually cut it at a big club, because most of them don't have the stomach to pay for a big club, if I'm being honest. They're not good enough. I mean, if you look at flipping, people always say, this is not FIFA, you can't get rid of many players. I always say this, Chelsea got rid of at least 10 players last season. They shipped them off to Saudi Arabia, and then they went and spent on a new squad. Now, granted, the season hasn't gone well, but if you look at how they're playing now, and I've been saying to Chelsea fans, when Chelsea fans have been saying, you've got to sack Mauricio Pochettino, I said, don't sack Poch. Give him time, let him play good football. It's his first season. Now, some are saying I'm a hypocrite because I'm saying Ten Hag must go. But my point is, this is Ten Hag's season. He spent £400 million. Pochettino, I'm not quite sure how much he spent, but I know Chelsea have spent £1 billion in the past 2-3 years. It's £1 billion in the past 2 years since Bowley joined the club. So it's like we're in a situation whereby Pochettino is in his first season, and we can actually see the type of football he's playing. At Man United, we can't even see what the fuck he's trying to do. All this guy is doing is shit. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not doing anything well. He's not doing anything. So we need to get rid of so many players. I mean, on the top of my head, I can just start with guys whose contracts are coming to an end. Anthony Martial, his contract's coming to an end. That's one player you get rid of. Love Anthony Martial. When he came to the club, so much potential, but he's never lived up to the potential. Never lived up to the hype. Always injured. Get rid of Martial. Rafa Varane, another one. Madrid fucking robbed us, bro. We paid Madrid about £40 million for a guy who Madrid could see that, nah, you know what? He's coming to an end. He's finished. They got rid of him. We went and signed him like the dickheads that we are. Rafa Varane, contract's coming to an end. He's finished. Always injured. Get rid. That's his name. Victor Lindelof. Softest defender I've ever seen. He's the most soft centre-back I've ever seen. No physicality, no height, no strength, no pace, nothing. Get rid. I think he's got like 1 year left in his contract. Sell him. You got fucking Johnny Evans. There's no point talking about Evans. His contract's coming to an end. He joined the club, literally. When he came, we said he's just going to come train with us just to keep fit. At the end of the season, before the season started, we signed him because we're fucking shit. Get rid of Evans. You've got players like Aaron Ambisaka. Get rid. Not good enough. All these stupid slide tackles of his, I don't care. Get rid. Get me a player who can actually play football. Get rid of him. Luke Shaw. Very good player. But guess what? Too injury prone, bruh. This season has even played 10 games. I think he's probably played 5 at most. Malacia, I'm willing to give a fucking, I'm willing to give Malacia a pass because, let me see. I'm willing to give Malacia a pass because it's only his first season where he's not played at all. Yeah, but it's his second season at the club, so it's fine. You've got the likes of Scott McTominay, useless. Sell him. Eriksen's contract's coming to an end. Let him go. Fucking Casemiro, finished. There's rumors Al Nassr looking to buy Casemiro for about £40 million. Sell him, guys. Let him go. I'll drive him to I'll fucking fly him to Saudi Arabia myself. Who else is there? The likes of Anthony. What a flop. That left foot of it is useless, man. The least Brazilian player I've ever signed. Man United have got a problem with these Brazilian players. I don't think we've ever signed a good Brazilian. We had the likes of fucking Anderson. He was shit. Yes, he won a league title, but he was playing under Sir Alex Ferguson. Of course, you're going to win a league title and playing against one of the goats of the game. We had fucking, the Fabio, the Rafael and Fabio, the Brazilian twins, okay. They were decent. They weren't great, but they were decent. You get what I'm saying? So, it's all right. Who else do we have? We had fucking Casemiro has been shit. Anthony's shit. We never get good Brazilians, man. We just never do. But anyways, there's like at least 10 to 15 players who we can get rid of this season. The season coming to an end now. In the summer, get rid of most of these players because they're just not good enough. But anyways, let me go through the rest of the comments. Max says there's no reshuffle that will happen. United hasn't gotten any player they actually wanted in the past 5 seasons, and I'm not sure that will change now that with all things considered. Yeah, that's the thing. Um, we've just been so bad, man. We've been so bad, not only on the pitch but off the pitch. But I slightly disagree with you here, Max, because in the sense that we've literally gotten this guy Omar Barada from Man City. He's still on gardening leave, so he's not our CEO just yet. Apparently, Jean Claude Blanc is the one who's the interim CEO. We've then got Jason Wilcox, who apparently is gonna start as soon as the summer starts. So at least we've got someone who can actually help fast track when it comes to the youth teams and maybe help when it comes to identifying some talent. So the player so far that I see we're being linked with is Michael Olise. So if we can go and sign a player like Olise, then I think we have a chance. I honestly think we've got a chance of actually doing something useful. We can maybe, because if you're seeing that boy, I know he's also had a few injury problems this season, so that's the only risk with Olise. But I honestly rate that boy. I think he's so good, man. He's so good on that left foot. But as I was saying before, I got too distracted by the Olise comment. Um, we've actually now we're bringing in a team basically who's gonna facilitate transfers. We've gotten rid of the likes of fucking Woodward, the likes of John Metto. What's this guy as well? What's his name? I forgot what his name was. But the guy John Metto was the guy who was in charge of transfers ever since Woodward left. So we've gotten rid of that such people. We're actually starting to bring people who are football people who are going to facilitate the transfers, like I said. So there's a bit of hope. I'm not gonna give them too much praise before they've done anything. You get what I'm saying? I mean, we can't be giving people shout outs before they've done anything. Let them do a good job. Let's see them actually get rid of this rubbish and bring in some good players, and then we can start talking about how, yeah, things have changed at Man United. But I honestly think there's hope. I'm choosing to be positive on this. But my biggest appointment that team that Ineos can make, so David Brailsford and Sir Jim, the biggest appointment that they can make at this football club to change things around is to sack Eric Ten Hag and get a new manager. Like, I'm even at a point where I don't even want a world class manager. I don't want to, it doesn't have to be a big name manager like your Jose Mourinho's or whatever. It could be a manager who's not known. Just someone who will come play good football. Play good football. He doesn't have to be the manager we get to win the league title. He could be the man before the man. This could be someone who just gets us to play good football. Because apparently, Jason Wilcox is going to be playing a big part in shaping the team and helping us come up with the strategy and the way in which we're going to play moving forward. So if we've got these guys implementing a style of play and having to get a manager who will adapt to the team instead of the team adapting to the manager, then we can get a good manager, let him play good football. In about a year or two, once we've actually assembled a good squad, we can then get rid of the manager, and maybe by then the manager market will be good, and we can get actually a household name, someone who can actually lead us to trophies. Because at this point, don't get me confused. I'm not saying if we say 10 out, we win the league tomorrow. We're not. We're far from winning the league. I know that. But what I'm saying is get rid of Ten Hag and bring in a proper manager who's actually gonna help the team perform better. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, let me go through the rest of the comments. Felicity says, lol, he says he can join the live. Let him join the live. Max says Martial left United in January. Evans came in as a coach. Bro, Martial has been a disappointment. Hasn't even played this season. I think he's probably played 3, maybe 4 games. So he's been a disappointment. Johnny Evans came in as a coach to keep up his fitness as well. And then because we had too many injuries, he had to step in as a centre back. This club is an embarrassment, man. MJ says, honestly speaking, is Malasia still alive? He hasn't played a single game all season, bro. Not one game. He hasn't. Ayan says on maternity leave. Congratulations on the newborn baby, and happy Mother's Day. So if there's any mothers watching the live right now, what else? Hopefully, I don't know, all the mothers have had a good day. Hopefully you were spoiled by your people, your families, and your kids, your partners, whatever. But anyways, like I said, happy Mother's Day. MJ says, what's this? Malasia last posted on Instagram in July 2023. Yeah, I'm not sure if Malasia's still alive, but Anyways, I'm gonna do my player ratings for the United players today, and then I'm gonna move it on from Man United to the other sides and the impact of today's result. In at number one, we've got Andre Onana. I thought he was poor, man. Well, no, actually, it was a mixed bag. It was a mixed bag with him. He made some good saves, about two or three good big saves towards the end of the game. Uh, but then the goal, which we considered, starts from him. The goal which we consider is four people I blame. Number one, Andre Onana. He just swings this stupid left foot of his, gives the ball back to Arsenal, and guess what? They come straight back at us. But then there's three people who I feel are strongly to blame for that goal going in. Number one, Casemiro. He's the lowest in the fucking defense. He's the one who was deepest in that in our defense, in our defensive line. Casemiro is the deepest guy, so he basically lets all these what do you call? He plays Kai Havertz on. Johnny Evans leaves. Kai Havertz runs forward, so he's also to blame. And then flipping Wan Bissaka doesn't track his runner in what's his name? Leandro Trossard. He didn't track him, so Trossard runs in and scores the tap in. Evans should have marked Havertz properly. He showed him onto his right foot, good, but blocked the ball, get to a corner. But he lets him beat him easily, cross the ball in, and then fucking Trossard scores. So basically, Pisaka should have marked Trossard better. Evans should have basically stopped Havertz crossing the ball. Onana should have done better with the cross. Casemiro was just there standing, so it was just a shit show. So for me, Onana gets what? I mean, marking them from 1 being poor, 5 average, 10 being excellent. Onana gets a 4. I think he gets a 4. None of them did well. Delo was disappointing. Well, to be fair, he was all right going forward, but his final decision making, the final ball crossing to the box or shooting, it wasn't that great. So he gets an average 5. Moving it on to flipping, who was there? Casemiro. I thought it was awful. I thought Casemiro was so bad. Casemiro gets he gets a 4 as well. Evans, the fact that he let Havertz basically just walk past him, he gets a 3. Delo, didn't think it was great, he gets a 5. Moving on to midfield, we got Kobe Mainu. He tried, man. He looked like a bright spark in the middle of the park, but he wasn't great either. So I'm just giving him an average 5 as well. Who else do we have? Scott McTominay, he was a ghost. He was hiding throughout the entire game. He gets a fucking 3. He did nothing. He had the armband. He gets a 2. He gets marked down for having the armband and not doing anything in such a big game. Who else was there in our midfield? Amrabat. The passing was shit, but the defensive work was alright. So he gets another average 5. Moving it on to the right wing, Amad Diallo. I thought he was alright, but he also didn't beat his man enough. But he did look like a bright spark. But the final decision making wasn't that great. So Ahmed as well, I'm just gonna give him slightly above. I thought he was one of our best players, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna give him a 6. Just above average. Ahmed gets a 6. Rasmus Højlund did fuck all in that game. He gets a 3. Absolute rubbish. Garnacho. People trying to tell me he did well. He played well. Was dribbling, going past Ben White. He struggled to go past Ben White. And whenever he did go past Ben White, he fucking missed. When he was supposed to cross, he's doing nonsense. When he's supposed to cross, he's overhitting it or under-hitting it. When he's supposed to shoot, he's not even hitting the target. He's hitting the side netting or putting it in rosette. Fucking shit. Oh, Man United, man. I'm not gonna bother going through the what you call the substitutions. There's no point. None of them came on and changed the game for us. Not in a good way, anyways. But anyways, United failed to beat Arsenal. The whole point of today was if Man United beat Arsenal, then United would actually end Arsenal's title hopes. Like for me as a Man United fan, I obviously don't want to see Man City do the four-peat. Like City can't be winning 4 titles in a row, guys. Like it's not on. We can't have that. I'd rather Arsenal win it. In as much as I'm annoyed they beat us today, it was more about how they beat us, not exactly the result, but how they beat us. They didn't even have to try that hard, bro. Just sit back, let Man United have the ball, and you'll beat them. Simple as. So we failed. All we had to do was get a draw or flip and beat them, and we stopped them winning. We basically stop Arsenal winning the title. Well, I mean, it's still in City's hands. But like I've been saying this whole time, I think City are gonna draw against Spurs. Honestly, I know people say I'm crazy for that, but I'm telling you, Spurs have not lost to City in like the last 6 Premier League games. 3 years in a row, Spurs haven't lost. In fact, it's 4 years, I believe. Spurs haven't lost to Man City in the league. So why would all of a sudden Spurs decide to start losing against Man City? I think they're gonna try by all means to ruin the party for Man City. I think they're gonna play well. I think they're gonna just shock them. I mean, they had lost what 4 games in a row until they before they win yesterday. I mean, yesterday they beat Burnley. Was it 2-1? But from what I saw, Spurs were in poor form, but they've just beaten Burnley, which I thought they would. But I'm telling you, and I've been telling people, Spurs will beat Man City. If they don't beat them, they're gonna draw. And remember, due to the goal difference, a draw would be good enough for Arsenal. If Spurs draw against City, then it goes back to Arsenal's favor because Arsenal have a superior goal difference to Man City. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Arsenal probably have 5 more goals than Man City. So if Spurs draw with City, it means they're going to be level on points. City and Arsenal are going to be level on points, but that means that Arsenal now go above City due to goal difference. And now, with 1 game to go, that game would be Arsenal would be hosting Everton at home. Everton already safe from relegation; they've nothing to play for. Arsenal at the Emirates, knowing that they've got a 5-goal lead over Man City, they just have to win their game, bro. Trust me, Arsenal. If Man City draw that game or lose to flipping Spurs, title's over. You may as well crown Arsenal. I don't see them bottling it on the last day of the season at the Emirates. Forget it. They've worked. This Arsenal side has changed. It's different from the one from last season. So, let me see here. What's being said? In the Max says in the past few games, he considered with the last player to touch the ball. He considered when the last player to touch the ball was Onana. Yeah, you have a point. Onana's just been doing his nonsense, but I'm tired of him. But I've accepted we've got so many problems at this club that we've got to get rid of before we even get rid of the likes of Onana. Players like McTominay need to go, bruh. Players like fucking Anthony need to go. The likes of Maguire, they need to go. The likes of Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, all these rubbish guys, they need to go, you know. But anyways, Max says, United attackers would be the best in the league if they played against United defenders. Yeah, because our defense is shit. But even with that said, our attackers aren't even that good, bro. Our attackers are bad. Garnacho. The amount of times people guess this boy up. He even believes he's Ronaldo now, and he's not. He's nowhere near Ronaldo. He couldn't even lace his boots. People want to talk about Garnacho like he's the next CR7. Bro, just because you celebrate like him doesn't make you him. But anyways, Miranda says, are Spurs going to hold out against Man City? Lost, they're kind of slumping right now. Yes, they are. That's what I'm saying. No matter how bad Spurs are playing, whenever they play Man City, trust me, they come alive. They come alive and they just do some madness which no one saw them doing. Like I remember, was it last season or the season before, where the game ended? Was it 3-2 or 3-3? At the Etihad, where Man City were basically winning towards the end of the game. Spurs just don't lose to Man City, guys. I know this current Spurs right now, their form isn't the greatest. They've just won their first game after losing 4 in a row in the league. But I'm telling you, Tuesday night, come back to this video, you'll say I told you so. Spurs might do a number on fucking Man City. Spurs really might do a number on them. Like I don't know. I've just got a feeling. And the funny thing is, Spurs don't even have to play that well against Man City. They just need to catch them on the counter. Because in as much as Man City play good football, we all know they rarely keep clean sheets. They really. I'm seeing Alice Chelsea coming on from last night. Yeah. Anyways, Spurs rarely keep any clean sheets. Anytime they get a chance, City really keep clean sheets. They'll attack, but in a game they'll always give the opposition a chance. That's why they barely keep any clean sheets. So that Spurs attack with Son, and I know it's not the greatest really. The likes of Johnson and Kulusevski, they're not that great, but Son always seem to score against them. But so let's see what happens, man. But I genuinely think Spurs have got something for us. People won't see it coming, but I genuinely believe Spurs might just shock Man City. And yeah, we'll see that on Tuesday. But anyways, Felicity says Ten Hag is not a problem, and that it's the players. The brother saying that Ten Hag is not the player, it's the players. It's the players because they act as individual players. It's like I said, um, it's not all on Ten Hag. I've been saying this. It's not all on Ten Hag. I'm Ten Hag out, but in as much as Ten Hag is to blame, the players are just as to blame. Some of the players, forget them being playing as individuals, they're just not good enough. Half of that squad's not good enough. But guess what the funny part is? Half of the squad that's playing was signed by Ten Hag. People are saying that no, get rid of the players because they're the ones turning on the manager. When we lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace, 9 of the 11 players that started that game against Crystal Palace were signed by Ten Hag. 9 out of 11 players when we lost to Crystal Palace 4-0 just the other day, they were all signed by Eric Ten Hag. So what? Are we saying, what are we saying? It's the players. Then that says Ten Hag's not good enough. He must get sacked then. He must get sacked. Max says, the last time we tried to sell Maguire, he refused. So I will be different now with any player we want to sell because all these players just want high wages and United is perfect place for that. Yeah, so like I said, these new guys that we've got, the guys brought by Ineos, Jason Wilcox, David Brailsford, all of those guys. Apparently they're now saying the new contracts that we want to give are going to be incentive based. You see, it's not just going to be a situation whereby anyone can just. I mean, for example, we take Anthony from fucking Ajax. He's probably on like £20,000 a week. We bring him to Man United and we give him £200,000 a week. What the fuck? Doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't need to be an accountant to know that that makes no fucking sense. He should be going from 20k a week to 40. If he's lucky, 50k a week. Even 40, we're being generous just because it's Man United's a big club. But he should not be going from 20 and anything about 50k a week. You see, so that's what that type of things we're supposed to be changing. And players who simply refuse to go, you just tell them it's fine, we'll bench you. Big players don't want to be benched. They want to go play football. Even Maguire, I think this summer we can get rid of him. If a decent team comes in for him, I think we can get rid. You see, I mean, we literally turned down a bid for Scott McTominay last summer, whereby flipping West Ham, I think they offered about £35 million. And apparently United turned down the bid. They said they wanted 45. With Maguire, we accepted the £35 million bid, but Maguire was the one to turn it down. So in this season, if a player says, I'm not going, you just say, okay, cool. We're going to bench you. We're going to make you train with the first, with the under 21s or under 18s. No player's going to stick around for that. They'll leave, bro. They'll leave. Debe says, hello, hi Debe, how's it? Rarukaka says, we need balance in the Premier League before City turns it into the Farmers League. Bro, the league's already a Farmers League. I was saying this last week that we already are a Farmers League in the sense that we say, we out here, we're quick to say the Bundesliga is the Farmers League, the Liga A is the Farmers League, La Liga, Serie A, even Liga NOS in Portugal. But guess what? We can't have Man City win 4. How many trophies does Guardiola have? How many league titles? I think as it stands, he probably has like what? Is it like 6 in 8 years? Because I know he won. I think he won 2. Then he didn't win because Liverpool won, and then he won like. Who else won the title? And then he won like 3 in a row. So I think Pep Guardiola's got 5 league titles in 7 years. If that isn't a Farmers League, then I don't know what is. I honestly don't know what that is. Like, you cannot tell me a manager's going to come and dominate this match and we say it's not a Farmers League. It's looking like a Farmers League. I mean, look at how the flipping, how the English teams have done this season in Europe. Not a single one of them qualified for any final. The only team that was left in Europe was flipping Aston Villa. They were the only team to make it to the semi-finals of any European competition. Because United, Arsenal, Newcastle, and City, none of them made it into the quarterfinals of the semi-finals of the Champions League. When it came to Europa League, Villa, not Villa, what is it? Is it West Ham? They didn't make it to the quarterfinals. Villa got knocked out in the semi-finals. So it's kind of looking like we might be the Farmers League. Honestly, it might be looking. It's kind of looking like we might be the Farmers League, especially when you look at things like the impact that it's had, the fact that we've been so poor in Europe. Spain and is it Germany? And Germany both got um, fifth spot because there was a chance for Premier Leagues to get a fifth spot, five teams in the Premier League. Basically, the top five would qualify for next season's Champions League, but it didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? Because we were poor in Europe. So instead, those positions go into teams in Germany because obviously Dortmund are in the final. Bayern were knocked out in the semis. Leverkusen are in the finals of the Europa League. So basically, this season, the league which we all say is the biggest farmers league, being the Bundesliga, they've got Dortmund going to the Champions League final. They've got Leverkusen going to the Europa League finals. So when it comes to the Conference League, I'm not quite sure. I think it's Olympiacos versus, I'm not even sure who it is. But yeah, it's the Premier League is starting to look like a farmers league. It's not good, man, to be honest. It's not looking good at all. But anyways, moving it on. Max says, besides the wages, how would you attract a high performing player to United? Yeah, so that's where the thing is with Man United. We can't be going for the creme de la creme anymore right now. In the position that we're at, we can't be, for example, we can't be going for players like your Jamal Musiala's, your Florian Wirtz. Why would you come to United? You're just gonna ruin your career. In fact, they wouldn't even want to come. I mean, Jude Bellingham turned us down. Bellingham, before he went to Dortmund, he turned us down. Look where he is. He's at now. He's with Madrid, the biggest club in the world, playing in the Champions League final. There was a good decision on his part. Erling Haaland, we messed it up. Apparently, Ole wanted him, but we fumbled him. Which other big player turned us down? Frankie de Jong said no to coming to Man United. He said no to come. Ten Hag said when he came to Man United, he said his first target was Frankie de Jong. De Jong said, I'm not going there. Not good enough. I'm not going there. So he saved himself. I know Barca didn't win any trophy this season, but literally just last year they were La Liga champions. So all these players who are turning us down are saving themselves. But what Man United can now do, you can start shopping in like the lower teams in the Premier League. For example, someone like Michael Olise. The boy is playing at Crystal Palace, right? But you can see he's a baller. I think anyone can see. The only doubt with him is injuries. But when it comes to his footballing ability, I don't think anyone can question that boy. The left foot of it is so good. You can get players like Michael Olise at flipping Crystal Palace. If you want to now go by, what's his name? All these. Look at what Chelsea did, right? They went and took Caicedo from Brighton. Caicedo wasn't like a household name, but obviously Chelsea overpaid for him. They paid like 115 because they're stupid like that. But he started. He's a good player. He's a good player. There's many players in the Premier League you can go and sign. Many players. You can look at that kid. What's his name? Pedro Neto at Wolves. Again, now he's also injured. He's always injured as well. That's another problem with him. But there's players like that you can go get at these small teams. Look at what Newcastle did. They went and signed Anthony Gordon from Everton for about what, £50 million. Look at him. He's flying. He's flying for Newcastle. These are not sexy names. These are just players who are effective. Look at the guy who scored the winning goal for Arsenal today, Leandro Trossard. They got him from Brighton. He's not like someone who will say is world class, but he's a good player, and play him in a proper team with a proper structure with top players, and he'll perform. Look at him, Trossard. He's coming up with big goal after big goal after big goal. The players are there, bro. Like we just need to shop around. Like I said, go look at the smaller teams like your Brightons. Look at players at Brighton. You can look at players at Wolves. You can go cherry pick from these small teams, your Bournemouths, whatever. You'll always find good players. The problem is when Man United wants to start going to get these big names, your Casemiros who are finished, your Varans, your Ronaldos, your Cavani's, your flipping Falcao, Di Maria, Memphis Depay. We've done the thing where we've signed the big names. They never work out for us. We seem to kill talent. Jadon Sancho, he came to United. It hasn't worked so far. I have to be honest. It hasn't worked. In as much as Ten Hag was unfair to him, he didn't treat him well, but Sancho hasn't performed in a United shirt. Let's get it right. I'm a big Sancho fan. I think he should come into the club, but he hasn't performed for the club. He hasn't. You see what I'm saying? Go buy these not so big names, boys with potential, guys who are hungry to prove themselves in the game. Bring such players to the club, and maybe, just maybe, the culture can change and things can start to change, turn around, and we can actually have players who give a damn about the club. You get what I'm saying? David says Donny van de Beek was benched until he got tired of chilling. Bro, he was benched by his own manager, Ten Hag. It's another one we got from Ajax. Shit. I don't ever want to see Man United linked with any player from the Bundesliga, not Bundesliga, from the Eredivisie ever again. Unless if maybe Ten Hag is gone and it's a proper scout who's saying, you know what, this kid's gonna be proper in the future, go for him. Yeah, then that's something else. But if we still have the likes of Ten Hag and he's the one saying, go get me this guy from the Bundesliga, from Eredivisie, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. None of our players from the Eredivisie work out. We signed Memphis Depay, flopped. Donny van de Beek, flopped. Tyrell Malacia, the jury's still out on him. It's 50-50 with him. 1 week, in fact, he had a very good start to the campaign last season. Played very well. But towards the end, from when he did that stupid pass, I don't know who it was, when he got us knocked out of the Europa League, it's just been downhill from him. Playing poorly. Playing very poorly. So, these guys from the Eredivisie, I don't want to see them at the club. I don't. But anyways, Max says, please give me an ideal starting 11 for next season with any realistic signings and 5 extra players for the bench. Consider Greenwood and Sancho. So with the Greenwood and Sancho one, it's a bit, it's tricky, right? If we're keeping them, that's something else. If we're letting them go, again, that's something else. Especially the Greenwood one, it's a bit of a touchy one. It's a bit of a touchy subject. So whatever the club decides, they can do. If they want to keep him, they can keep him. If they want to get rid, they can get rid. So I'm just going to go whatever the club decides on him. But when it comes to Sancho, I think we should keep him. Now, I need you to hear me clearly on this. I'm not saying Sancho's done well. He hasn't. He hasn't done well in a Man United shirt. But what I'm noticing with Jadon Sancho, he needs a manager who believes in him. A manager, I know he's soft. I'm not going to lie, he's soft. He needs a manager who's going to put his arm around him, tell him he believes in him, and actually play to suit his style. We play transitional football. That's never been Jadon Sancho's game. Sancho wants to play in a possession-based team. He wants to play possession-based football. In Dortmund, the first Sancho, not in the second spell, when we signed him, they mixed it up a bit. It was possession-based and transitional. At United, it's literally just transitional. No possession-based football. We can't pass and move, no. You must just run. That's not Sancho's game. Sancho would be, funny enough, he'd be suited for a side like Man City. Maybe even Arsenal. But at United, under Ten Hag, it's not going to work. But if we're getting a manager who's going to play possession-based football, play good football, get Sancho, play him on his actual right-wing position. But as for the starting 11 that for next season, I have to be realistic. We're not going to sign 10 players. We can get rid of 10, but we could probably sign, I don't know, 6, maybe 7, if we are actually smart about the way in which we go about our transfer window. But I'd look at, like I said, players which are not the greatest, but like your players who are playing in the Premier League proven. For example, there's a free agent already. He doesn't have to be first choice. Tosin Adarabioyo, the guy who came from Man City, who's at Fulham now, he's refusing to sign a contract. He's not world class, but he's all right, right? He's a decent defender, and you never know. Maybe he's one of those players who just need to step up to a bigger club and they start shining. I mean, look at Van Dijk. When Liverpool signed him from Southampton, he was a decent defender. He wasn't world class or anything like that. He was decent, but he goes to Liverpool and he just grows into this one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best defender. You look at someone like Declan Rice. He was already a good player at West Ham. But he wasn't, you can't tell me Declan Rice that you currently see now for Arsenal is the same one you saw for West Ham. This is a much better one, right? A player like, what's his name? Riyad Mahrez. He was absolutely tearing it apart at Leicester City. Goes to Man City, continues to win the league. So, I'd sign someone like Adarabioyo from Fulham. Apparently, we're being linked with the likes of Brentwaite for centre back. I don't really rate him. From Everton. I think he's all right. But again, he could be someone who comes and does a good job. So if there's at least 5 or 6 players who I think we can sign, realistic ones in the Premier League, definitely sign Olise. Apparently there's like a release clause of about 50 million. You can sign Michael Olise. That's the first player you can sign. Who else can we look at when he's striker-wise? Go sign Ivan Toney. He's at Brentford. Again, he's not world class. He's not your Erling Haalands or your Mbappes or these guys. But he's a good striker, good Premier League striker, proven. Go get someone like Ivan Toney from Brentford. You put Ivan Toney in our starting 11 instead of Rasmus Højlund, you actually have a proper number 9, a proper striker. Someone who can hold the ball up, who can bring his team into play, he can create chances, he can score free kicks, penalties, good finisher. So already, but just by adding someone like, what's his name? Flipping Olise and Tony to our attack, we've super improved, right? We're looking for to get a strong competitive midfielder, right? Again, if you're chopping in the Premier League, Onana, what's his name? I forgot his first name, but it's Onana, the guy who plays for Everton, the Belgian guy. I think that guy is a proper box-to-box midfielder, man. Strong, physical. If you look at our midfield, what we're lacking now, we're lacking physicality. We don't have someone who can actually carry the ball. Kobe is brilliant, right? But he can't carry the ball from our own half into the opposition's half. He just can't do it. It's not his style of play. Got someone like flipping Onana. He's a proper, and he can actually defend. You see what I'm saying? He can do both halves. He can defend the ball in our side, and he can also attack. So that's already a third guy. I told you about the free agent from Fulham, Adarabioyo, right? That's 4. Now, 2 other players you can think of. It's very unlikely, but for starters, we need a left back. Man United need a left back, right? Ian Matson, the kid from Chelsea. Literally got a £35 million release clause. Chelsea loaned him out to Dortmund. And apparently he's saying no, he wants to go to a place where he'll play first team football. Of course, at Dortmund he can play. He can play at Dortmund, right? But if Man United is serious, go convince him to come to Man United. Madsen can play for us. That's 5. Who's the 6th player I can think of? Like I said, I've seen us being linked with the likes of, what's this guy? Brentwaite from Everton. I don't know. I don't know if he's good enough or not. I've also seen us linked with this guy, Jean-Claire Todibo, who's playing at Nice, which is Sir Jim Ratcliffe's other football club. So it looks like we definitely want to sign him. So already I've given you 6 players there. None of them are above 50 million. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. Tony might be, because fucking Brentford were saying they want lots of money for him, but apparently he hasn't scored in like 8 Premier League games or something like that. But put him in a bigger team and I'm sure he'll perform. So if you're getting Tony, you're getting Olise, you're getting Onana, you get Adarabioyo, you get Ian Matson, and the 6th one, you can get maybe a what's his name? You can get a, what's his name? Todibo from Nice. None of those guys are world class. These are just guys who can actually play well and could maybe develop into becoming world class players for the club. As for the rest, you can infuse some youth academy players there or some other cheap guys from other leagues that we don't know. Look at when Chelsea signed Nicholas Jackson. Most people didn't know about him. Big up to you if you knew about Jackson. I didn't know about him. He was playing at Villarreal apparently. Came to Chelsea. People were laughing at him, saying that he's not good enough. The man has already got 14 goals in the league this season, I believe. I think only Haaland, Isaac, and who else? I think it's Watkins. Only those 3 guys have got more non-penalty goals than Nicholas Jackson. He's not the best of finishers, but he's still coming along, ticking along with the goals, helping Chelsea go forward. As we speak, Chelsea are above Man United now. I think they're 6th. Yeah, because Tottenham was 5th. And then Newcastle drew. I think Chelsea are either 6th or 7th, but I know they're level on points with Newcastle. I actually think Newcastle are above, but it's down to goal difference. And we've got Newcastle on Wednesday. So there's players you can go and buy in the Premier League. It doesn't always have to be your world-class guys, your Ronaldos, your Casemiros, Varane. No. There are players you can bring into the club. Players who will actually fight for the club and actually get us back to where we need to be. You see? David says, maybe look at Mateta. He's fine. So with Mateta, you see, again, another one. People could easily say maybe it's a purple patch. He's not a top class player. He's just on form. It's a purple patch. The same way Rasmus Højlund had a purple patch in like what, February. He was scoring for like 6 games in a row. But others could say maybe there's potential there. Maybe he could come to United and improve. I don't know. You see? But you never know until you take chances on these guys. You see what I'm saying? I mean, and then he goes on to say, Olise's release clause is about 70 million. No, it's not. It's not. I literally saw Fabrizio saying, I think it's about 55 million pounds. So it's a lot of money, but it's not like 80 million, 85. Because we're known for paying stupid amounts. We paid fucking 88 million pounds for Anthony. We paid 73 million pounds for Rasmus Højlund. We paid 73 million pounds for Jadon Sancho. We paid 70 for Casemiro. That Casemiro who looks finished, we paid 70 million for him. Varane, we paid 40. Again, another one Madrid could see, he's finished. When we signed Di Maria, we paid about 65. And that was like what, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago? So if it was like today, it would be like paying 100 million pounds for him. We overpay when it comes to the transfer fee, and we overpay when it comes to the salaries. Hence, we always struggle to get rid of these players because we just want to get the big names into the club, but we can't even flip and use them properly. You get what I'm saying? I mean, wouldn't I saying that we need Ted Lasso? No, not Ted Lasso. I don't know. Some people have been saying we need Thomas Tuchel. I'll be honest, man. I've never been a fan of Thomas Tuchel. I can't lie. I've never, and it's not just because he got knocked out by Madrid or anything like that. I've never been a fan of his. Like he's never struck me as a manager who played good football. And where I'm at right now, it's not even about the trophies. It's not even about the trophies. It's just, I just want to get a manager who will play good football. Do you get what I'm saying? Just get me a manager who plays good football. I've seen enough rubbish football for a decade, bro. Since Alex left, we had Moyes. The club was too big for him. He had no clue what he was doing. He was just doing his own nonsense. After him, we had Louis van Gaal. Oh my God, the most boring football I think I have ever watched. Not the worst type of football, but the most boring. We kept possession. We were averaging about 60 to 70% ball possession. But it was always sideways, backwards. It was awful, boring to watch. The man won us an FA Cup. Immediately after, literally, the man was sacked when he was doing his post-match interview, celebrating, I've just won an FA Cup for this club. As soon as he left the press conference, he was told he's sacked. That's what we need with Ten Hag. Well, that's if you can even fucking win the fucking FA Cup. Because I don't think he can. I don't think Ten Hag can win the FA Cup against Man City. Playing the way we play. I don't know. I know in these big games, it's like it's a derby, so form goes out the way. Anything can happen. You never know. But for him to win the FA Cup, kind of asking for a lot. We're kind of asking for a lot. See, there is this. I still have the Chelsea Islands on here, and I'm seeing Jackson just scoring 14 goals. This guy has had. I remember I was part of the people who was laughing at him. I'll be honest. I was saying he's a flop. He's not good enough. But in the past 2-3 weeks, I've been actually watching. I'm like, you know what? Goals aside, he's actually good. He can't finish. Don't get me wrong. I know he got 14 goals. Good record. Good return from him. But his general play is actually very good. If anything, I think he's more suited to be a winger for Chelsea. Because he can create. Also, if you play him as a number 9, he's got the hold-up play. He can head the ball. Finishing, shooting, yeah, not the greatest. But everything else he seems to have. I think there's a player in Jackson. If you get a good manager and good players around him, you can have a top player. But yeah, anyways, if you haven't already, please hit the like button, guys. Let's get those like numbers up. Tando says, Rarukake, you're right. Ted Lasso can't do. Even Ted Lasso, you know how he's a miracle worker. Basically, he can't solve this one. We're beyond help, guys. Like we suck. We really suck. Every day, it's just gets worse. When you think Man United have hit rock bottom and we can't possibly get worse, we get worse. When you think, like, I watched us lose 7-0 to Liverpool. I think it was one of the worst days of my life when it came to supporting Man United. If you know me, you know I hate Liverpool proper. So losing 7-0 to them, that was like, it wasn't even a slap in the face. It was like I'd run over by a truck. But then I was like, this is the lowest we can go under Ten Hag. And I know we haven't had a bigger defeat than that. But we have had worse performances, man. Worse performance. I can mention many. I remember us getting hammered 4-0 by Brentford. I remember we just lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace. I remember us getting beaten, was it by flipping Newcastle when we were beaten like 2-0, but it should have easily been 6 or 7-0. There have been many games whereby we've lost 2-1, 3-1, where we could have easily lost 5, 6, 7, even 8-0. Crystal Palace should have beaten us 8 or 9-0. They genuinely had that many chances. They had a post, they hit the post a few times, they missed a few big chances. It's a mess. It's a mess. You see, I mean, Araluka says, "What's your score? Your score prediction for the FA Cup final, bro? Against City, we're basically fucked because look at it this way, right? It's either we're gonna be going into a final facing a Man City side that's just lost the league title to Arsenal. That's if they lose or draw against Spurs, and then Arsenal win their last game of the season. We'll be playing a Man City side that's just lost the league title to Arsenal, so they'll be pissed, and they're gonna take it out on us. Or we were playing a Man City side who've already won the league title, but due to them being knocked out of the Champions League by Madrid, means they obviously can't do the treble. So the only thing they have left to play for is what? The FA Cup. Then they can do the domestic double. So either way, we're fucked. They still gonna want to beat us. You see, and one thing about Ten Hag, this man does not win the big games. He does not win the big games, especially against the big six. He does not win. This season alone, I don't think we've won a single game, home or away. I don't think Man United, I don't remember. We didn't beat Chelsea all season. We lost to them at Stamford Bridge, and I think we drew at Old Trafford. We lost both games against Arsenal. We lost both games against City. We drew both games against Liverpool. We lost one and won one against Spurs. So yeah, against the big six, 0 wins. 0 wins. 2 draws against Liverpool, 1 draw against Spurs and a loss, 1 draw against Chelsea and a loss. So we've got, in 10 games that we played the big sides, we've drawn 5 and lost 5. 0 wins. So what's to make me think we're gonna win? If we were at least under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I know, calm down, he wasn't great. But at least under Ole, I knew he always had something for Pep. We could go to the Etihad and I'd be confident we're gonna win. As rubbish as we were on the transition, counter-attacking football under Ole, it wasn't great. But I knew when it came to the big games, we found a way. We didn't always lose. It was only towards the end when he was getting hammered 5-0 by Liverpool, getting beaten 3-0 by City, that he was starting to lose. But throughout his campaign, the first 2 years, Ole wasn't really necessarily losing the big games. And even if we lost, it was by a close margin. I remember us going to the Emirates and beating them with Jesse Lingard doing his thing. And Pogba was also there. They were literally dancing in the Emirates. Under Ten Hag, we don't win big games, but we always lose or draw. But anyways, David says it was the haircut that was misleading for Jackson. Yeah, that haircut, and he dyed his hair blue. I was like, what the fuck is this? He's now cut his hair, looks clean, and he's focused, and he's doing his thing. You know, he's doing his thing now. David also says, I can't believe Chelsea will finish above United this season, and we had a seriously terrible season. That's my point. That alone is a sackable offense. Chelsea have been shit all season. They have been so bad. I remember at some point these guys were 13th in the league. They've been, most of the time, it's been 10th, 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 12th, 11th, 12th. But guess what? They're going to finish above United. Because United is shit. You see. Anyways, Max says, I'm starting to think we need one of those commentators to coach the team. Maybe Gary Neville or Jimmy Carragher. Bro, Carragher showed on Monday Night Football he knows more about football than this fucking bald fraud, this Ten Hag guy, because he keeps showing how we get exploited. Our midfielders, bro, we could sign the best midfielder in the world, Rodri from Man City. Take him and put him in Man United. Put him with with De Bruyne and fucking Phil Foden. Make them our midfield three. Play them under Ten Hag's tactics. They're gonna look like mediocre players. Why? Because Ten Hag does not set the team up to play well. You get what I'm saying? So it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Ten Hag needs to go. We need a good manager. You know, the thing is for me, ne, I looked at Xabi Alonso. I knew it was never gonna happen. I mean, he played for Liverpool. I don't think he'd want to play for United, or whether he would want to manage United. Cool. I then looked at Ruben Amorim. Again, I saw him being linked to Liverpool. Also went to for an interview at West Ham apparently, but he turned down the job. But that's a bit of a red flag for me. Why are you being interviewed by the likes of Everton, of West Ham? Why are there no big clubs going for him? What's wrong? Isn't he about to win the league in Portugal? So Nagelsmann, another one I looked at. He turned down the job for Bayern because apparently he extended his contract with the German national team. Another manager I was looking at. Ralf Rangnick, I never looked at him, to be honest. I more looked at Rangnick for like the behind the scenes, like transfers and those types of things. Which other manager was I looking at? Zinedine Zidane. I'd like to see Zidane come to United, bro, but it's like the man doesn't want to come to England because of course the weather is not great. These guys who played in Spain are fucking annoying, man. They just want to be in the sun. They don't want to come to England. Talk less of Manchester, because Manchester apparently it's always pissing down, so it's always cold. It's always grey, gloomy, all of that. But all the managers that I wanted they're not available this summer. So I'm literally down to, and I know people are gonna call me deluded for this, Roberto De Zerbi. He hasn't done well this season with Brighton, but I've seen the man actually play good football. So what United can do, give him a 1-year contract. Let's see if he can. I'm not saying he's going to win us a league title. He can be the man before the man. Whatever manager Man United get right now, I don't think he's going to be the man to lead us to winning titles. But he can be the man who actually gets us to play some good football for like a year or two. And then after that year or two, when proper managers are available, you let him go and you bring on someone. But he will have at least built something, a foundation. Then you get someone to take over that foundation and complete the house. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta get rid of Ten Hag and replace him with a good manager. Bring me in Roberto De Zerbi. Bring me De Zerbi. I mean, the guy plays good football. He plays good football, so bring me De Zerbi. If he's not good enough, again, you give him a 1-year deal. If he's not good enough, you sack him. If you ask De Zerbi to say, Man United wants you right now on a 1-year contract, or you stay at Brighton for the rest of, I don't know, for another 2 years, for the rest of the contract, probably has maybe a year or two at Brighton. You're trying to tell me De Zerbi's going to choose to do 3 years at Brighton or 1 year at Man United? He's going to come to United. He's going to want to come to United and prove himself. You see? But anyways, Hoy says ops on Rasmus. Bro, are you saying that the ops are on Rasmus, or what's my opinion on Rasmus? But if you haven't already, I'll give it to you for free. Rasmus Højlund is shit. Not good enough. Not good enough. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. For me, I've got one more season. And for that season even, he's not a starter. He's on the bench. Go get me an Ivan Toney or someone like that. Keep Rasmus Højlund on the bench. Let him try and learn from flipping, what's his name? The likes of Tony or whoever striker the club wants to go get. But Rasmus Højlund is not good enough. We paid £73 million for a striker who had scored 9 goals in Serie A. Do you know how mad that is? To pay 70 million great British pounds for a player who scored 9 goals. 9 goals at Atalanta. And people want to tell me I must listen to Ten Hag and his opinions. Man, fuck off with that, bruh. That guy ain't good enough. He's mad. That 70 million, we may as well have paid 100 million and got Harry Kane. Instead of paying 70 for Rasmus. We could have paid 100, maybe even 110 and got Kane. Because look at it this way. Ten Hag this past summer, right? He spent 73 on Rasmus, 50 on Onana. That's already 123 million pounds, and he spent 65 on Mason Mount. I repeat, 73 million Hoyland, 50 Onana. That's 123 plus 65. That's about 188 million pounds if my math is proper. 188 great British pounds on 3 useless players. Plus 10 million loan fee for Amrabat. 198 million pounds. That's 200 million pounds which fucking Ten Hag is wasted. So if you're telling me 200 million pounds, you could have paid at least, I don't care, even if you paid 120 for Kane. He's world class. Anyone who says Kane is not world class, yes, we can laugh about him being cursed and not winning trophies, going to Bayern and not winning, it's fine. But he's got 45 goals in 44 games. I don't know if Bayern played today, so he probably scored again. I don't even know. But before today, when I checked, Kane had 44 goals in 45 games. That's a world class striker. We could have easily paid about 110 for him, and we'd still have about 90 million pounds to spend. For that 90 million pounds, go get these guys. What Olise? You could have gotten for about 50 million last summer. You could have gotten Kudus for 50 million pounds. You could have signed guys. The market is there. Unlike the manager market, the player market is there. There's many good players you can sign. And players don't only have to come from the Premier League. You can go to fucking France, get some players. You can go to Spain, go to Portugal, Italy, Germany, whatever. Brazil, look at Chelsea. They're out here buying players from Brazil. I know most of them are not ready to start yet, but that's another market you can exploit. You see, so it is what it is. But as for Rasmus Højlund, for me, it's not good enough. My final thing on Rasmus is he can't finish. He's not clinical at all. He can't head the ball. I've actually never seen him head the ball. I think he scored 1 goal through a header through the entire season and basically just hit him. It was an open net. He can't shoot. He can't hold the ball up. He can't hold up play and bring his team into possession. He can't even control the football. He can't shoot. He's not strong. All he can do is run. All he's interested in doing is wrestling the centre back. Today, flipping Saliba and Gabriel, they just manhandled him like some little baby. You're not going to out-muscle William Saliba or Gabriel Magalhaes. Forget it. A small boy like you. They just enjoyed him. They just passed him around. They were just, whenever he gets the ball, take the ball. Whenever he gets it, take the ball. Not good enough. Garnacho, another one. Not good enough. Thanks to CR7, he's scoring and doing this, giving the Sue, sitting on notice boards. Bro, not good enough. Not good enough. Anyways, let me go through the next some of the comments. If you're live and you haven't liked already, please like the video, guys. Let me see. Felicity says, yeah, that 7-0 was tough, bro. You know when you feel like you have no words. I'm glad I wasn't on YouTube that day, at that point, because if I did have YouTube, I had already started this channel, I think they would have cancelled me. When we lost that 7-0, they would have cancelled me. My channel would have been blocked. They would have cancelled. They would have suspended it. It would have been over. This channel would not. I would have had to start over again, because the things I would have said, yeah, it was not gonna work. It was just not gonna work. Forget demonetization. They just would not work. They would block my channel. They would block prospective channels from me. But it is what it is. Jared Williams says we need more players who want to prove themselves like Xhaka. Exactly. That's what I was telling Max. We don't necessarily have to buy household names every time. It's not every time you have to be buying your, I don't know, your Jamal Musialas, your Josko Gvardio, Ruben Diaz. I mean, there's this boy from what's his name? From flipping Benfica, João Neves. What a baller, a midfielder. Top player. But guess what? It's too expensive. He's got a release clause of about 100 million or something like that. I'd love to have him at the club, but we can't afford him because we've got too many things to fix at the club. So start by improving the squad slowly but surely. Buy these or right players. Don't have to go for world-class players just yet. We can't afford, if they said tomorrow Declan Rice is available for 120 million pounds. For a player like him, it's worth it. But we can't go and spend that 120 on Declan Rice. Why? Because the 120 we spend on Rice, we could get 3, 4, maybe even 4 players who are good for that 120. You can get 3 top players for 120, 40 million pounds, 40 million pounds, 40 million pounds. So we're not in a position. Teams like Man City, they've built a squad. Hence, they can now afford every summer to go buy £100 million player. Arsenal, their squad is almost, they're at a point where if you put 2 extra world-class players, if you take Jamal Musiala from Bayern and you put him in that Arsenal side, or maybe you go get a Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle, put him in the Arsenal side, or Alexander Isak, put him in an Arsenal side. These £100 million players, Arsenal can win the league. They need a number 9 like nobody's business. And the perfect one for me, when it comes to Arsenal, it would be Alex Isak from Newcastle. Baller. Again, only problem is injury prone, but he's a top player. And he's been linked with them. If they get him and Bruno Guimaraes, both from Newcastle, they pay £200 million to Newcastle and get those 2 players. Arsenal can win the league next season. Look at how close they came this season. I know last season they bottled it, but look at how close they've come this season. Taken City to the last day of the season to win the league title. That's how far they've come. So what I'm trying to say, even look at when Newcastle signed Guimaraes, they signed him from, was it from Lyon? I think it was from Lyon, but I know they signed him from a French side, if I'm not mistaken. Signed him for about £35 million. Look at him now, world-class midfielder, proper, strong, physical. We can't pay 100 million for Bruno Guimaraes. We can, but if we do that, it would be stupid, because what are we going to be left with? Nothing. We'll be left with nothing to spend. First, build the team, fill the holes that we need to, we've got in the team. Build the squad. Once you have this proper squad, then you can start going for creme de la creme. Look at what Arteta did when he went to Arsenal. Got rid of the likes of Mesut Ozil, world class at the time. Got rid of his captain, what's his name? Aubameyang. He was his top scorer. Got rid of these rubbish guys like what's his name? Socrates. Rob Holding, I think he's still there, but trying to get rid of him. He got rid of the likes of what's his name? So many rubbish players, man. He brought through the likes of Bukayo Saka from the academy. He promoted what's this kid? Martinelli. He then went and signed the likes of Trossard. He wasn't paying big money. Odegaard, when he signed him as a young kid for about what, 30 million pounds, 40 million pounds. You sign these guys when they're young and hungry to prove themselves. Then you build a squad around them. Once you've got an extra strong nucleus, the likes of Gabriel Magalhaes. He signed Ramsdale. He saw it's not working with Ramsdale. You know what you do? Fucking bench Ramsdale. Go get David Raya. That's what a ruthless team does. You keep signing these players, but you don't go pay 60, 70, 80 million. First, build a team. Once you've got a proper nucleus, then you start to add these proper players, the world-class players. They've added Declan Rice now. I guarantee this summer, Arsenal will have another £100 million player, and it's going to be brilliant. It's either going to be Bruno Guimaraes or it's going to be Alexander Isak, because they linked with the both of them. And if they get the both of them, they've added steel to their midfield, and they've actually added a deadly number 9. Who's going to stop them? Maybe City, because City are just good like that. Look at City on the other hand. They spent 90 million on Joshua Gvardiol. Proper centre-back. He's not even playing centre-back, right? He's playing a left-back. And he's still scoring goals with his left foot, right foot header. Scoring at the Bernabeu, Rockets. Yesterday saw him scoring against Fulham. They can afford to do that because they've built a fucking squad. You don't just go and buy all the best players in the world at once and expect them to work out. You build a squad first. Once you've got a proper squad, then you start adding the best players into that squad. That's what wins you titles. I mean, Granit Xhaka, he's in fucking Leverkusen now, right? The man has won already the Bundesliga. He's in the final of the DFB Pokal. He's in the final of the Europa League final. So he could possibly win a treble. Unbeaten. I think they played today. I don't know. Someone let me know. Did Leverkusen lose? Because apparently they've got this stupid thing where they don't lose. They're always winning, scoring the winner or the equalizer in the 97th, 98th, 95th minute. I don't know. Is the streak still on? Did they not lose today? If anyone already watched the Leverkusen game, let me know. But anyways, let me go on with the comments. Deborah says, Tony plays for the bookies, by the way. Yeah, I know. That's why he got suspended for a long time. Even Tonali, he got suspended for a whole year from Newcastle. But Yeah, it happens. Then he says, between De Zerbi and Tuchel, do you choose De Zerbi? It seems Tuchel's fate is sealed at Bayern. No, Tuchel's definitely gone. They've already agreed he's not coming. He's not coming back. He's leaving. And what's worrying me is this: the rumors of Tuchel to United are just getting bigger and bigger. So it's like we might get Tuchel. It's like we might get Tuchel. So I know it sounds stupid when people say, "How are you choosing De Zerbi over Tuchel when Tuchel has actually won a Champions League?" I understand that. And I fully understand why people would say they prefer to get Thomas Tuchel over Robert De Zerbi. The reason why I say I want De Zerbi, it goes back to what I said before. He plays good football. In fact, before I even go back that far, the reason why I want De Zerbi or a good manager, why I wanted Ten Hag, let me make it clear why I'm so Ten Hag out. When I saw Ten Hag balling out at Ajax, he was playing good football with the young players he had, right? He came to Man United. The main reason why it was, if people remember, it was either Ten Hag or Pochettino. In fact, the board, the Glazers, and Ed Woodward were close to hiring Mauricio Pochettino, but the fans were basically making noise that they want Ten Hag. And I understood. I was part of the fans saying, I want Ten Hag. He plays good football, he's good, so we need to have him. Guess what happened? Ten Hag comes, he gets beaten 4-0 and what is it, 2-0 in the first two games. He decides to fumble it and it abandons his principles and stops playing the way he played at Ajax. He's asked, why are you not playing the way you're playing at Ajax? No, because he then says, no, because I can't play like that at Man United. These players can't play like that. Excuse me, sir. You bought the players we have. I said it before. The game we lost 4-0 about a week ago at Crystal Palace, 8 of those players who started in that game were fucking signed by Ten Hag. So I don't want to hear about, I don't have the players. Then why did you sign the players? Why are you signing players who are not fit to play in the type of football you want to play? So when it comes to De Zerbi, he plays good football. He might not get the results, but he plays good football. Hence, I'm saying I know the manager we get next might not necessarily be the one to win us titles, but he will actually. I want someone who will play good football. I've had to see shit football since 2013. It's 2024. I'm tired. Just get me good football. I know, even if we don't win, Spurs have got this guy, what's his name? Ange Postecoglou. He might not win the league title, but guess what he's doing? He's playing good football. Give me an Ange, someone like that. Let him play good football for a good year or two. Let him build a squad of players who can actually play good football, technical football. Not this transitional fucking nonsense. Players who are technical. Get him under that manager. De Zerbi can do that. Tuchel can't play good football. I saw him at Chelsea when he was winning the Champions League, the Club World Cup, the Super Cup. Good manager, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying I'm tired of seeing defensive managers, even at Bayern, doesn't play good football. I want to see a manager who plays good football. That's why I don't want Tuchel. But if he comes to the club, guess what? I have to back him. I'm a Man United fan. But if he starts fucking up, then I'll start saying Tuchel out. Simple. Even if we get De Zerbi, who I'm saying I'd prefer, if he comes to United and he looks like shit, then he has to go. People always say, oh, we can't keep sacking managers. Yes, we can. If the managers are not delivering, you get sacked. You, at your job, whatever you do, whether you're a lawyer, doctor, teacher, nurse, whatever you do, if you're not performing at your job, you should be sacked. It's as simple as that. Imagine if there's a doctor who keeps doing, I don't know, surgeries on people who are ill at hospital, but he keeps killing people. He must be sacked because he's not good enough. He's not competent. It happens every now and then. These things will happen. They're part of the job. But not every day. Every day you're killing people. No, you must be sacked. Ten Hag's not doing well. He must be sacked. So between Tuchel and De Zerbi, again I repeat, I agree. Tuchel is the more prestigious manager. He's won leagues everywhere. Everywhere he's been. He's won a league in Germany. He's won one in fucking France. Well, in Italy, in England he didn't win one, but he did win the Champions League with Chelsea, which was impressive. But what I'm saying is, because I've suffered and never had to watch rubbish football for over a decade, I'm tired of that nonsense and I don't want it anymore. So I want De Zerbi to come play good football. If he ain't good enough, sack his ass. Simple as. Anyways, next comment. Maxwell says potential with capital letters. They say for Rasmus, bro. He says ETH has been vocal publicly that he'll manage United next season. Kane has been bossing Bundesliga. Bayer was just on another level this season. Yes, so they say Rasmus has got potential. He's ass. He's so bad. It's so bad. Rasmus Højlund is so bad. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. They don't tell me, oh, he's young, give him time. Fuck off, bruh. He's not good enough. I trust my eyes. I use the eye test all the time. When I watch a player play football, forget the goals, the assists, just looking at him. If these players are playing with masks on and shirts which don't have their names, I just look at the player, how they move. Does he have a bit of flair, finesse? Is he technical? That tells me what I need to know about a player. Rasmus Højlund is an idiot. 6'4" pile of shit. Not good enough to play for Man United. Can't hold the ball up. Can't trap the ball. Can't control the ball. Can't shoot. Can't finish. Can't head. All he wants to do is wrestle. The brother is more suited to WWE than he's suited to play for Manchester United. Get rid of Rasmus Højlund. Okay, that's a bit far. That's a bit far. Don't get rid. Give him one more season on the bench. But it's not good enough to start for us. Again, if you're watching live, guys, and you haven't hit the like already, please hit the like button. Next comment I see. ETH has been a vocal about publicly that he'll be managing United next season. He's talking shit. Ten Hag has come out many times and said we play attractive football. Ten Hag is just saying whatever he needs to say at this point. He feels like he needs to survive. You see, so leave Ten Hag to waffle. Kane's been bossing the Bundesliga, 44 goals in 45 games, absolute world class. Bayer Leverkusen. I've seen people saying they've got the deal with the devil that they can't lose games. They always get last minute equalizers. We'll see what happens in the final of that UEFA Super Cup. I need them to beat Atalanta, and I need Madrid to win the Champions League. Then we can have that UEFA Super Cup final between Madrid and Leverkusen. It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be a mad one. But anyways, moving on. Ava Rafik says hi. Ten Hag out, my guy. Ten Hag out. Capital letters. If I were you, I would put that in capital letters and put fucking exclamation marks. He needs to get the fuck out of here. Send him back to Holland. I've also got some morons, by the way, saying that, oh no, look, Bayern want Ten Hag. Why would you want to sack him? That shows he's a good manager. He's not a good manager. He's not a good manager. Bayern Munich wanted to bring fucking Ralf Rangnick, but he turned them down. And I know half of this fan base wouldn't want to have Ralf Rangnick back in United. Not as a manager, anyways. So just because he's been linked with Bayern doesn't mean he's good enough. If Bayern want him, by all means, come take him. We'll give him to you for free. We don't want him. Let him go. I know. Idani says, Leverkusen are currently winning 3-0. You see now. Like I said, the rumors they've made the deal with the devil. And they just do whatever the fuck they want. Those fuckers ain't losing anytime soon. That's going to take their record to 50, by the way. I did a short on the... Oh, it's 4-0 now. They just scored. Leverkusen are not messing around, bro. Xabi Alonso, I'm sure Frimpong scored or Grimaldo. Because he's literally using his wing backs to be the ones to get him goals and assists. Or is it Victor Boniface? Or is it Florian Wirtz? Who is it? Is it Xhaka? Anyways, it is what it is. Fucking Leverkusen are just on a madness, bro. That makes it 50 wins. They've played 50 games this season. If they're winning this one, it means they will have won 42 games. So that's 50 games, 42 wins, 8 draws. That's what we call being invincible. Not that nonsense of Arsenal whereby they had like 13 Premier League games which they drew. And I get it, they didn't lose, but just to show you how rubbish that invincible was. Well, it wasn't rubbish, but how not great it was. Arsenal, today they played their 37th game of the season, right? So they've got one game left against Everton, which they're playing at the Carpet at the Emirates on Sunday, next week Sunday. If they beat Everton, in fact, I think they already have. I heard today the stat that Arsenal have gotten, this Arsenal side currently have more points than the invincible side got in 2003 or 2004. So it just goes to show you this Arsenal side is good. But as for Leverkusen, that's 50 games played which they haven't lost. Apparently, the last time Leverkusen lost a game was against Roma in the They lost the last game was in the semi-finals of the Europas by fucking is it against Roma when it was Jose was still at the club. But yeah, Leverkusen are doing a madness. Let me see. Did I miss any comments here? Let me see here. So I went through Brenda's comment. David Any, Max, Felicity. Who else? Rafik, Red. Daxi, the 3-0 out. And then, yeah. Alvar Rafik says, Ten Hag destroyed Sancho and Ronaldo, and now it's time for Rashford. Just get rid of him. Bro, Ten Hag ain't serious. Ten Hag needs to go. He simply needs to leave this football club. I've said why. I said when we linked to him, I said bring him, plays good football, and I just want good football. I've accepted. People say, why are you saying it's good enough for us not to win titles? Bro, we haven't won titles for over a decade. So why would I all of a sudden speak as if United have been winning titles week in, week out, or season after season? We haven't. We literally had us before Ten Hag won that Carabao Cup. I think we hadn't won a trophy for like what 6 years. Like it's been 10 years. In fact, 11, make it soon to be 11 years of no Premier League title and 15 years of no Champions League title. So why would I be talking about titles? I just want to see good football. Entertain me. Bring me ballers like Michael Olise. Bring me ballers like Jadon Sancho back to the club. Bring me players, man, technical players. Free, unlock my boy. Kobe Mainu. Stop playing him defensively. He's not a defensive midfielder. Push him higher up the pitch. Bring me the likes of Ian Matson. Bring me ballers. It doesn't have to be big names, guys. You can sign players from the Championship, they'll do well. Liverpool fucking signed Andy Robertson from Hull City in the Championship. He came to Liverpool and was absolutely on fire. One of the best left backs we've seen in the Premier League. Signed for about what, £8 million? It's not always the big names. You can mix it around. You see? As for Rashford, he divides the fan base so much. You know, some people like him, some don't. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Then it says they made it 4-0. Make it 4-0. Okay, I saw that. Avak says Rasmus is not bad. Come on. Yeah, I hear you, Avak. But honestly, can you tell me something here, right? When you watch Rasmus Højlund, let me put it this way. Maybe just give me 3 things. Maybe I'm missing something. Tell me 3 things that you feel Rasmus does that's good. Proper things. Is it finishing? Is it hold-up play? Is it heading? Is it ball control? What is it? Don't tell me pace. That's not a good thing. If you have pace, you have pace. If you're slow, you're slow. You can be slow but good. You can be fast but shit. So tell me 3 things that Rasmus is good at. I'll give you that. Idani says, at Mr. Ramad, so it's 15, exactly, 15-0 now. If it was boxing, they would be calling him Mayweather. Exactly, Danny. Leverkusen are doing a madness, bro. They're not going to lose this season. Imagine, because when Arsenal went invincible that year, right? It was in the Premier League only. They had lost in the Champions League, the FA Cup, and other things. But what Leverkusen are doing is ridiculous. How do you go a whole season undefeated? No losses in the league, no losses in the Europa League, no losses in the German Cup. If Xabi Alonso actually gets through the season with the treble and without losing a single one of the games, yeah, we have to have some proper conversations about this guy. Anyway, we all know he's going to Madrid next summer, not this summer. Don Carlos going to do 1 more year than that other season. I mean, people were telling me he's going to go to Liverpool. And I actually believed he was going to go to Liverpool for a long time. But when I heard that apparently our president, Florentino Perez, got on a phone call with him and said, what are you doing, boy? What do you think you're trying to do? Stay 1 more season in Germany. You've got a super team waiting for you here. I mean, Madrid have already added Mbappe to their squad. We've got fucking Rodrigo. We've got Vinicius. We just don't have a number 9. But we're adding Mbappe to them. We're adding Endrick as well. That attack, midfield, don't get me started. Bellingham, Camavinga, Chouamini, Valverde, Adagula, Brahim Diaz. Bro, it's a madness. Apparently, we're also being linked to, what's his name? Alfonso Davis. Also being linked to Leniero. Bro, that squad is going to be mad. The only other player I feel Madrid need now is this right back from Bayer Leverkusen, Jeremy Frimpong. Scores goals for fun. Bring him to the Bernabeu. Add him. Let's be greedy. We already bring all the players to Bernabeu. Why not add him as well? Anyway, just hold on one sec. Let me just plug my phone in the charger here. I use my phone to do these things now. My battery is a bit low. There we go. Is it charging? Yeah, it's charging now. Let me see something. Is my volume is my audio still fine? Last time I plugged my phone in, I think it affected my audio. Please let me know in the chat. Is the audio still fine? Is it I don't know, messy? Just let me know in the chat. But anyways, then he says, "Oh, we Royal Rumble, the WWE Royal Rumble that got me." Anyways, sorry, it's 5-0 now. Oh, come on, bruh. But it wasn't a fair game. The other team got a red card 15 minutes into the game. Hey, it doesn't matter, bro. The game is the game. If you get a red card, it's part of the game. It means you fucked up. Why are you getting red cards in 15 minutes? But anyways, it just goes to Ten Hag. Let me tell you something. Since you're saying it's not fair, Max. This Ten Hag fraud. We could play a team and they get a red card and we'll still not win. We'll still not win. With Eric Ten Hag. So it ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy. But anyways, Rafik says, so after I asked him what the 3 qualities that Rasmus brings us, he says finishing, running, and his all-round play is good. With all due respect, Ava Rafik, I will disagree. I'm open to people having different opinions. That's what this is about. But what I see when I see Rasmus Højlund, right? Maybe you can also disagree with what I see. What I see with Rasmus, I see a kid. I see a kid who's not ready. I'm seeing Maxwell saying loud and clear, so I'm guessing the audio is still fine. As I was saying, Rafik, I see a kid who's not ready to be the leading striker for Manchester United. There could be potential, could be, in capital letters, because for me, I'm doubtful. Because already I have this thing where I'm, and this is a personal thing for me, I'm very skeptical when it comes to players or the number 9s who are left-footed. Unless your name is Erling Braut Haaland, I don't want to see you in my club if you're a left-footed number 9. I see us being linked to this kid. What's his name? Benjamin Šeško, from is it Leipzig? He's a left. Excuse me. He's a left-footed number 9. I've seen too many rubbish ones. We've sent Lukaku, couldn't finish for shit. Which other left-footed number 9 we had? Oh, we had Van Persie. He was a world-class one. He was a good one. He was very, very good. But you need to be special for you to be a proper left-footed number 9. Look at Erling Haaland. Special talent. Finish like nobody's on this earth, right? But as for Rasmus, he doesn't want to shoot with his right foot. The only time I saw him use his right foot since he joined us was that beautiful goal. Even I will admit it was brilliant against Aston Villa. What a goal he scored. But for me personally, he's too weak. He's more interested in, you see how I'm sitting on this chair, right? If this is Rasmus Højlund and this is William Saliba, he's more interested in grappling him. He wants to wrestle Saliba. He wants to wrestle Gabriel. Whatever defender, he wants to fight. And the funny thing is, he's not even strong enough to actually fight them or wrestle them or pin them down. He always gets bodied. They push him off the ball. They tackle him. The amount of times where we're on the attack, we give the ball to Rasmus. Instead of him to hold the ball up, defend against the defender, lay it off to another winger who's attacking, or Kobe, or Rasmus, or Garnacho, or Ahmed. He gets bullied, he falls, they take the ball, they start a counter. I'm thinking, Rasmus, you're pissing me off, you're frustrating me, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, I get it. If you feel he's good enough, like I said, it's all about opinion, you know? It's all about opinion. But my opinion is, I don't think it's good enough, but I still do believe that maybe, that's why I said, if you were watching earlier on, I said, if maybe Man United could somehow sign a striker like an Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney ain't world class. He's a decent striker. He's a good Premier League striker. I can guarantee now, if you sign Ivan Toney, minimum, he guarantees at least 15 Premier League goals. So Ivan Toney could either come to United and maintain the levels he's at Brentford, or he could go up another level and start scoring proper goals. Maybe goes to about 25 goals a season. I don't know. But if you can get an Ivan Toney, and maybe Rasmus can learn off of him, because him being the main striker, he looks lost out there, bro. Look at it today. What did he do? I don't remember any good thing Rasmus did. All I remember is him frustrating me. There's a time where, I don't know who it was, they gave him the ball in the box. Instead of trapping it first time and hitting it first time, he wants to trap it, by the time he reacts, Partey's taking the ball, ball's gone. I need a striker who's decisive. I need a killer. I need a cold-blooded killer in front of goal. And I don't think Rasmus Højlund is that. I genuinely don't think he's that. I think he's an average player. There's potential, but even the potential isn't the greatest of potentials, if you ask me. So, again, it's all about opinion. I hear you, but I disagree. But like I said, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me see what else is being said here. Max was saying it loud and clear. Cool. Max was saying, I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up. United wouldn't win a match against 9 players against any top 6. Bro, we're shit. We could play against Man City, could be down to 8 men in the FA Cup final. Man United wouldn't win. We would not win. Maybe we would win if it actually went to penalty shootout. That's when we'd win. But we wouldn't win. We're so bad. We're so bad. Ten Hag can't control games. His in-game management is poor. He's too reactionary than he's not proactive. Every time he has to react to what the other manager's doing. Bro, how about you be the one who does things first? And have other managers have to react to you and your decisions. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, let me see next comment. Idani says Madsen's gonna go for 35 to 7 million pounds, so 35 to 37 million pounds, whilst using a system that suits him. I don't like that. Exactly. Ian Madsen is a baller, bro. He's a proper left back. I don't know how the fuck Chelsea let him go. To be fair to Mauricio Pochettino, ever since he inverted Marc Cucurella into that, he's doing this whole inverted fullback with him, playing Cucurella almost as a kind of midfielder. He's looking like a beast. He's looking very good. But I still think Ian Madsen could have done that as well at Chelsea. But you guys put a £35 million release clause. Anyone can come and pay it and take him. If Arsenal are serious, I'd take him. If I'm Arteta, because Arsenal don't have a left back. They've got this fucking idiot. What's his name? Zinchenko. The crybaby. Even Kivio. If I'm Arteta, I'm going to go pay the £35 million release clause. Bring Madsen in and let him do his thing. Anyway, Felicity says, Hoyland is a good spacer. He has presence, and if he gets a good supply, he can make things happen. So with Hoyland, there's two things here that we can put, right. The one thing I will say in his defense is Man United don't create chances for their number 9. We don't. We simply don't. I'm seeing there's the highlights coming up again. More pain and misery. But anyways, Man United don't. We barely create opportunities for our number 9, and it's not just something that started now with Hoyland. We didn't create chances for Cavani. We didn't create chances for Martial, for Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic we created for him, Lukaku we created, but of late we barely create opportunities for our number 9. So what does that mean? That means that our number 9s then have to be proper special to get goals. You get what I'm saying? They have to be really special to get goals. So players like your Rasmus Højlund, who I don't think is great, I think it's just all right. He doesn't have good movement. I'm seeing that you're saying he's a good spacer. He's not. He doesn't create space for himself. If anything, he's always where the ball isn't. If you look at, for example, Garnacho runs into the wing, who is also I'm not happy with, if I'm being honest. But if Garnacho runs into the box, right, cuts it back, and he just needs to tap in. If he's pulling it away from goal, Rasmus will be next to the goal. If Garnacho puts it in towards the goal, Rasmus will be away from. He always seems to be where the ball is not. If he is where the ball is, he always arrives slightly late. When he gets the chances, he's not clinical enough for me. Maybe he can improve, but I don't know. Ever since I started watching football, you're either a killer or you're not a killer. Especially in front of goal for strikers. You can't. I'm watching the thing now, the replay now of the goal from Trossard today. You saw how, what's his name? Kai Havertz just basically walks past that old man Evans, puts a nice ball into the box, right? And then what's his name? Trossard just taps it in. If that's Rasmus, he wouldn't have been in the position whereby Trossard was to tap it in. He'd probably be away from goal. So guess what? The defender would have just cleared the ball. He can't read it. He does. For me, his IQ levels are not good. His footballing IQ is not high. It's poor. It's very low. Now again, I'm open to there Garnacho missing good chances, bro. Good chances. He had lots of chances today, this boy, but he did nothing. But anyways, as I was saying, with Rasmus, he doesn't seem to know where to be. He's always where the ball isn't, or in the opposite of where the ball is. When he gets the ball, he's too indecisive. He's more interested in wrestling. It's not working, bro. It's not working. Mix it up a bit. And you're saying if he gets a good supply, maybe he can score goals. That's the one part which I will defend. We don't create chances for him. Maybe if we did give him a good supplier, maybe if we got the likes of Sancho playing with him, maybe. Because I know Sancho was out for a long time this season in the beginning. I think it was through injury, or was it when Ten Hag sent him to the mountains, or what? I don't remember. But I remember Sancho was. I think they could maybe play all together. I don't know. I don't know. He does need supply. That's one thing I'll be honest with. But in terms of his play himself, I don't think he's good enough. What else? Felicity says the audio is clear. Okay, cool. Rafiq says Ronaldo was perfect. Yes, when it came to being someone who Rasmus could learn off, it would have been perfect. That's why during the winter transfer break, when we were in January, when we were being linked to what's his name, Karim Benzema, I was sort of excited, not because I thought Benzema was still the player he was at Madrid, but I just thought maybe this could be someone that Rasmus learns off of. Maybe he can teach him the movement. Although these are things that I think you either have or you don't. And based on what I've seen so far, I don't think he has it. Like if you look at someone like a Darwin Nunez, for example, at Liverpool, awful finisher, absolutely awful finisher. However, he always finds himself where the ball is. If it's in the box, it always seems to fall to Darwin. Why? He can read the game. He can position himself properly. He can actually dribble. He can run with the ball. He's quick. He uses his pace proper. It brings other players into the team, other team members into the game. But I don't see that from Rasmus. He doesn't seem to know where the ball's going to drop. He doesn't seem to position himself well enough. Unlike your Darwins, unlike your Nicholas Jackson, another one. He's not too clinical, but he always seems to get a chance. Why? His movement. He makes good runs in behind. He's got more than enough. These guys are not the most clinical finishers, but their movement gives them chances. They seem to always be where the ball is. Simple as. You see, so maybe Rasmus would have learned properly under Ronaldo, but we all know why Ronaldo left. He was fucking around. I mean, you can't do what he was doing, walking out of the game, walking out of the Old Trafford when we were winning 2-0. I mean, come on. But anyways, Rafik says we need to get rid of Maguire, Ericsson, Rashford, Anthony, and Onana. Bro, as for Rashford, he's the first one I said I'd get rid of. I said the first player I would get rid of at Man United is Marcus Rashford, because for starters, he's an academy product, right? That means it's 100% profit. So if we were to sell Rashford tomorrow for 70 million pounds to like a PSG or something like that, that means we've just made 70 million pounds clean. Clean. We didn't sign him for any amount of money. If you sell Scott McTominay tomorrow for about 30, 40 million pounds, again, clean profit. Just by selling Rashford for about 70, which I think he's worth it, even though he's rubbish, and you sell McTominay for about 40, you've already got 110. Let's say, let's not even be greedy. Let's say you sell Rashford for about 65 and you sell McTominay for about 35. That's already 110 million pounds. 65 million pounds for Rashford, 35 million pounds for McTominay. You're only on 100 million pounds, 110 million pounds. So you see when was it, no, 100 million pounds, I believe. My math is not the best. But how, if you're easily raising 100 million pounds like that, do you see that you could sell a lot of these players if you get rid of the likes of Luke Shaw? You sell Luke Shaw, you sell fucking what's his name? Maguire. You sell what's his name? Wan Bissaka, Lindelof. All these guys, if you add this money, we can easily raise 200 to 250 million pounds. Then if you're taking the 250 million pounds which you've raised by selling Man United players, and maybe you add another 200 million which we had as a budget, you've got 450 million pounds. If you take 450 million pounds and you actually sign players for around 30 million pounds, 40 million pounds, 30 million pounds, 40 million pounds, maybe one or two 50 million pounds, you can come up with a proper squad. You can get 7 to 8 good players. You can. And then you go and get a manager who wants to play good football with those players you've just signed. United can come back. We're not that far off. We're far from winning titles and challenging for those. But just from playing good football, we're not that far off. We can play good football. Look at what Ange Postecoglou is doing at Spurs. Comes in first season, he has them balling out. Look at what the Crystal Palace manager is doing. He's new. He has them balling out. Or Lisa looks like fucking prime Robin. It's possible, guys. It's possible. It's just we need a good manager. I'm telling you, we just need a good manager and we'll be good. Get me a good manager, good sporting director, technical director. Start bringing through the youth players. Not just any youth player for the sake of it. The ones which actually have talent. Technical ones. Amad Diallo. Kobe Mainu. Garnacho, I was a big fan of his. I can't lie. He's disappointed me so much. So much. So much. I was a big fan of Alejandro Garnacho. I thought this kid was going to be special. I was seeing people likening him to Ronaldo. I said, nah, man, I think we're guessing him too much. But guess what? I fell into the trap. I was seeing him come off the bench in the last 10, 15 minutes and doing a madness, and I'm thinking, maybe people were right, you know? He might just be the next Cristiano Ronaldo. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Your kid ain't no Ronaldo. He ain't no Ronaldo. You might celebrate like him, but he's not. But one thing I will give Garnacho is he never gives up. He's got that attitude to say he genuinely believes he can be as good as Ronaldo. So you never know. Maybe if he applied himself. I don't think he's ever going to be as good as Ronaldo, but I think he can be a top player if he continues to work hard. Maybe he actually tries to work hard like Ronaldo did to improve himself. Maybe that could lead to him becoming a proper player. But I don't even think he'll ever reach the levels of Ronaldo. But what I can say is, look at someone like Vinicius Jr. When he first joined Real Madrid, the first season, people were cooking him. People were using him as a meme. He was just trending every day. People were. I remember there was a video where basically Benzema was talking to his teammates saying, "Don't stop passing to this guy. He's costing us. He's playing against us." Karim Benzema telling his teammates, "Stop passing Vinicius. He's playing against us. It's not good enough." But look at Vinicius today, the best player in the world currently. Definitely top 2, but he's not number 2. If Madrid win that Champions League on the 1st of July, or the 1st of June rather, I'm trying to see one person win the Ballon d'Or. I'm not trying to see Jude Bellingham. I need it to be Vinicius Jr. A baller, big game player. I've seen him score in the Champions League final against Liverpool, scored the winner. I've seen him knocking what is this team? Play a big part in knocking Bayern out. I've seen him play a big part in knocking Man City out. Not just this season, but seasons before. So maybe, and I'm not comparing Garnacho to Vinicius, don't get me wrong, nowhere near. I am saying maybe if he applied himself, maybe, and this is a very, very big maybe, just maybe he can be one of the best players in the world in the next 3-4 years. I don't know. But right now, what I'm seeing a mediocre player. And that's the truth. I'm not saying get rid of him. I say give him 1 or 2 more seasons, see what he can do. But he cannot be a starter next season. Alejandro Garnacho should not be starting for Man United. Play him, bring him off the bench for the last 15, 20 minutes. Let's see what he can do. Then maybe the next season, if he's improving, we'll start to give him more minutes. But this thing of Garnacho starting, being our main starter on the left wing, is simply not working. Go get proper players. We've got, what's this boy's name? Nico Williams at Athletic Bilbao. Look at such players. I think he's got about a release clause of about 35, 40 million pounds. Bring me the likes of Nico Williams. He can play left wing. If not, we've got the likes of Michael Olise playing at Palace. Bring back Jadon Sancho. Players are there, guys. And these are guys whose prices are reasonable. I'm not saying go buy £100 million star. I'm not saying go buy Vinicius Jr. It's impossible. Go get Mbappe. He's free, but guess what? Why would he come to Old Trafford? To play shit football? Nah, he's already had enough of that at France. You get what I'm saying? But anyways, let me read the rest of the comments. Ava was saying we need to get rid of Ericsson, Maguire. I think I've done that one already. Maguire definitely needs to go. Ericsson must go. Rashford must go. I said he's the first player to get rid of. Anthony, I don't know. Maybe I'd give him one more season. Maybe I'd sell him. I'd be happy whatever happens. But he's shit. Onana's definitely shit. He also needs to go. Max says the list needs to be longer. Definitely. Evie says don't forget what Ronaldo done for us. He won everything. Definitely. I absolutely rated Ronaldo. He's my in my actual all time favorite Man United player was Cristiano Ronaldo. When I started watching Man United, Ronaldo was still a young kid at Man United who was doing a madness. I remember him fucking dribbling these guys, doing step overs, exciting, hitting long range shots in the Champions League semi-finals against FC Porto, if you remember. I remember him hitting that free kick against Portsmouth where he dinks and literally goes and dips in the last minute. I remember the last minute winner from him, and when we were in a league title, in a title race against was it Chelsea? He's scoring a last minute winner at Craven Cottage when he was showing that 5 times I tried to score, it didn't win. But now in the fifth time, it actually got. He scored the last minute winner. There's been big moments I've seen Ronaldo. I remember seeing him miss a penalty spot in the Champions League final against Chelsea, but then we wanted him to win because John Terry slipped. I've seen him. He was my favorite player. He was my most exciting player, player I liked the most at United since I started watching the club. But I'm not gonna lie. When we were linked to him the second time around when he was old, I said, no, 37 years old. Cristiano. The Cristiano I know is a bit petulant. But guess what? When he's world class and he's scoring goals and winning you games, it doesn't matter. But the Ronaldo I saw at Juve, I was like, I don't know. He was still scoring goals. He was the top scorer. I think he set a new record in Italy. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, he's old, guys. But when I heard he's close to going to Man City, I said, no ways. One of our greatest ever player, go play for our rivals. Taking the piss, bring him back. He came back, and I remember seeing that first game against Newcastle. He scored the brace. Before the game, is it what's this guy? Not Jim Beglin, the guy who does the proper commentary. What's his name? Let me know in the chat, guys. What's this guy's name? Not Jim Beglin, not Jim Proudford. The guy who does the proper commentary, but now he's no longer on Sky Sports, so it's no longer him. The guy who was always proper. But anyways, I remember him doing that commentary saying Ronaldo's back, wreathed in red, Madrid, Turin, Manchester, and now back to Manchester in his immaculate self, basically something like that. And I was like, you know what? I had got goosebumps thinking, Ronaldo's going to do madness. He's got a brace. Peter Drury, Maxwell said it, Peter Drury. He's got a brace against Newcastle, and I wasn't sold. I was like, nah, he's washed. I was like, he's washed. I remember, and the reason why I said he was washed, it was the technique. It was his finishing technique, and I was like, nah. I remember the one goal, it was a tap in, literally, I think we shot, and then there was a rebound, and he tapped it in. Against Newcastle, I'm like, okay, he scored. And the last goal, I think we're on the counter or something, he just shoots with his actual laces, and it just went through the keeper's legs, I think, and I was like, Anyway, he's a legend of the club. And then from there, it just went downhill. Of course, he scored some big goals. He'll still be a legend of the club, but what he did was unforgivable. He had to be sacked. You can't walk out of a team while we're 2-0 up simply because you didn't get to play. That tells me you care more about yourself than you do about the team. You see, so now some will say, why not apply the same principle to Sancho? Sancho didn't do that. Sancho was hung out to dry by the manager. It's different. But anyways, don't forget Ronaldo's already won us everything. Yes, I've already done that one. Rafik says, we as fans need to praise our young players. Don't make them fall. Yes, we have to. So Alex said, if you're good enough, you're old enough. right? So what that means is if you're good enough, it doesn't matter whether you're 15 years old, 16 years old, 17, 18, whatever, you can start. Prime example, Lamine Yamal, 16 years of age, is starting for Barcelona. I know Barca have problems right now, but this is one of the biggest institutions when it comes to football. Lamine Yamal is 16 years old. I saw him starting in a Champions League quarterfinal. That's the prime example of what Alex meant when he said, if you're good enough, you're old enough. 16 years old, Champions League semi-final. Now, guess what happens? If Yamal plays, if he's given a chance to play at the age of 16 and he does well, he should get all the praise in the world. But if Yamal plays at 16, not one game, but week in, week out, and he's dropping stinker after stinker after stinker, Barcelona fans have the right to call him out on his bullshit. Because at the end of the day, we're not trying to be out here giving players minutes just because they come from the academy or just because they're young. If you're young enough, either the manager sees that you're not performing and he takes you out the side, puts you on the bench, brings you out for the last few minutes of the game. But if the manager keeps on playing you and playing you and playing you and playing you, and you're still playing worse and you're getting worse and worse and worse, guess what? We're just going to get more frustrated, more and more frustrated with the manager and with the player, and we end up cussing out the player. So the manager's also responsible here. He should be taking the player out saying that, you know what, Garnacho ain't been performing well. I saw that he had played him 30 games in a row, which Garnacho has started for Man United. I'm like, what the hell? This kid's 19. And he's not like his Ronaldo levels when he was 19, he was doing what Ronaldo was doing. He's just been all right. But what happened last season, Garnacho was coming on for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes. And he was doing well. Why? He's coming on against tired defenders. He's got the confidence. He's playing well. Now he looks like he's not confident. He looks tired, for one. And he just looks like he's an average player. That's why I'm saying I'm not ready to give up on Garnacho. I even said if he works hard enough, maybe if he applies himself, maybe he can turn it around just like Vinicius Jr. turned things around for himself at Madrid. I don't know. Maybe he won't be good enough. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. But we should be honest enough to say when a player is playing well enough, whether they're playing rubbish, whether they're a Man United player or elsewhere, whether they're 18 or whether they're 36. If you're playing well, you get praise. If you're playing shit, you get told you're playing shit. Go and improve. It's as simple as that. I'm not saying we must abuse the players, but guys, Rasmus ain't been good enough, according to my opinion. Rashford hasn't been good enough this season. Garnacho hasn't been good enough. But Garnacho and Rasmus, I'm willing to give them one more season. But all I'm saying is they shouldn't be starters for us next season. Let them be bench players, learning off of other players, come off the bench to try and have impacts on games. Maybe then they'll play better. I don't know. You see. But anyways, let me see what else. Rafiq says Ronaldo had a hard time at United first, but he came back. Garnacho can do it. You're right. Absolutely right. That's why I said from the beginning. If Garnacho can knuckle down, work hard, apply himself, try and improve, maybe. Because I can't lie. Last season he looked good. He looked like a baller. I saw people were calling for him to get the number 7 shirt. I thought, pump the brakes. He's 19. He ain't done anything just yet. Let him grow. Let's see him. Let's see another season. Let's see if he can do it. If he was performing this season like he did last season, then yes, by all means, I'd be screaming, say, get the number 7 off Mason Mount's back, put it on Garnacho. But based on this season performance, I'm not giving him the number 7. That's literally our most iconic football shirt. At our club, the most iconic shirt is the number 7. Excuse me. The likes of Cantona have worn it. David Beckham has won it. Cristiano Ronaldo has won it. You've got many bums like your fucking Michael Owens, Di Maria, fucking Memphis Depay, all these useless guys. Now even Mason Mount is wearing another bum. So we need to get to a point where Garnacho needs to apply himself. But I think, Rafiq, you can agree with me in saying that Garnacho needs to be benched. Let him improve himself. Let him work his way back into the team. But let him start off the bench. Get players who are more experienced. If they're not more experienced, if they're also young, but they need to be better. The manager also needs to learn to rotate the squad because we can't keep playing the same players and not getting better results. They literally say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If we keep playing the same players, the young players, Look at Rasmus Højlund. Anyone with eyes can see Rasmus Højlund. He's not the worst player, but he's clearly a confidence player. He is. He's a confidence player, and right now he's playing with no confidence whatsoever. None. So what you need to do with such a player, get him off the team, put him on the bench, play him on the last few minutes of the game. Maybe then he'll feel more confident and he'll perform. You get what I'm saying? Maybe then he'll perform. But you can't keep playing him, seeing that he's not performing, and you still keep on playing him week in, week out. It doesn't make any sense. The same with Garnacho. Give Ahmed a chance. If Ahmed is not performing, take him out the side, put him on the bench for a few games and bring him back. It's management, guys. Man management. You can't use the same management style. You cannot manage the same way you manage Casemiro and use the same management style to manage Amad Diallo. Two different personalities. One is young. One is probably soft. One needs an arm around the shoulder. One needs to be told good things by the manager. One needs to feel that they're loved and cared about by the manager. It's not one size fits all. Different great managers know how to manage different characters in the dressing room. That's what makes great managers. That's what separates the great managers from just the ordinary ones. Sir Alex Ferguson, I've seen many podcasts referring and saying that Sir Alex Ferguson, when we had the likes of Nani back in the day with Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Scholes, Rio Ferdinand himself, Michael Nemanja Vidic, Petrus Evra, he said sometimes when Nani was basically doing nonsense, dribbling and losing the ball, no end product, doing fuck all, halftime, guess what Sir Alex goes and does? Goes and shouts at Wayne Rooney. Tells Wayne Rooney off, tells him, stop fucking around with the ball, pass the ball, quicker, pass and move, to Wayne Rooney. Why didn't he do that? Because he apparently knew that Nani was soft. If he went and screamed at Nani and gave him the hairdryer, Nani was basically going to cry. He was going to his shell, he was going to lose all the confidence, he wasn't going to do anything. So what does he do? He goes to Wayne Rooney. He knows Rooney can take it, shouts at Wayne Rooney. Rooney's thinking, what the fuck's going on here? But Sir Alex knows, apparently at the end of the game, he knows, he talks to Rooney, he says, no, you know I'm not shouting at you. I was trying to tell Nani to pass the fucking ball. But I know if I tell him, he's going to cry. That's great man management. You get to learn the personality of the people you work with, not just to soccer. If you're a manager anywhere in your workplace, you know there's different characters in the office. You know this one. You need to be soft with him. You need to get him to perform to his highest potential. You need to be soft. Take a softer approach. You know that this guy who's very good at what he does, but when you're soft, he doesn't perform. He needs you to light a fire under his ass. Then he performs. Different types of people at work. It doesn't just happen in the footballing industry. Anyway, whether you're in HR, engineering, medicine, whatever, you know there's different characters in the workplace. So you can't use the same management style to all of them. It's not one size fits all. You need to learn your team. You need to learn their character. You need to know what gets them going. You need to know with this one, light a fire under his ass and he's going to perform. With this one, be soft, be gentle, he's going to perform. But guess what? At the end of the day, the whole team performs. It's what's called man management. Ten Hag ain't got none of that shit. None of it. And I want him sacked at the end of the season. This live has gone on for very long. Very, very long. I need to go soon. Let me just go through the last few comments and then I'm going to be out of here. Let me see. Excuse me, I still got the flu. It doesn't want to go with the stupid flu. Anyways, Rafiq says, if Ten Hag stays, we won't be in Champions League spot next season. Definitely, bro, even if it goes, we won't be in the Champions League spot. Oh, you mean next season we won't finish in the tops? Oh, okay, now I get what you're saying. Yeah, definitely. If Ten Hag stays, we definitely won't be getting qualifying for Champions League next season. One thing is, if Ten Hag wins the FA Cup somehow by a miracle this season, then we qualify for Europa League automatically. I don't know who came up with that rule, but that's the rules. If we win the Europa League, if we win the FA Cup, we qualify for the Europa League. Even if we finish 12th in the league, we'll still qualify for Europa League. So hopefully we win the Europa League, but I don't know if we'll win it. So yeah, he definitely needs to go. Rafiq says, it's between the manager and the player too. Start or not, so we need a good manager. Yes, exactly. We need a good manager. Again, it goes up to what I was saying. We need a good manager who's got good man management skills, who needs people skills. That disgusting shit of making Sancho eat his lunch from the fucking car, banning him from the canteen and making him eat in the car park. That's rubbish. Imagine your boss at work telling you can't eat it in the if you have a canteen at your workplace. It says you're banned from the canteen. You must only eat your food from the fucking car. What rubbish is that, bruh? And then people expect Sancho to go and apologize to the dickhead. Sancho's in a Champions League final now while this moron is getting beat up week in, week out. He needs to go. Anyway, Max says, what if the whole United management is laughing at the fan base right now and they've been trying to do since Sir Alex left was to see how long we'll remain loyal. The state of the United can't be real. Nah, but they can't be laughing at us, bro. That would just be evil. I mean, Sujim, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted a Qatar. The time when we had two prospective buyers, we had Qatar and we had Sir Jim. I wanted Qatar because they had more money. They were getting rid of the Glazers totally, 100%. They were promising us the likes of Mbappe and all those big names. They were basically promising us a Real Madrid model, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. We ended up with Sir Jim. But I'll be honest, I was pissed when that happened. I was like, who the fuck is this Sir Jim guy? He doesn't have enough money. He can't even afford to buy out the Glazers. He wants to get in bed with the Glazers, so already there's a red flag for me. But that wasn't the case. If anything, Sir Jim has brought in his own stuff, like I've said before so many times. Jean-Claude Blanc, what's his name, Omar Berrada, Jason Wilcox, all these guys. I genuinely think he's trying to build something. I know maybe I'm just trying to look at it as a half glass full than a half glass empty. But I think Ineos are actually trying to do something well here. Before I continue, please hit the like button, guys, if you haven't already. I see a few people keep on joining the stream. Just hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's get those like numbers up. And anyways, as I was saying, I feel, excuse me, I feel Sir Jim is trying to improve the club. And for me, again, when I hear things like they want to get a new stadium, I'm so happy because, in as much as Old Trafford is it's monumental for us, Man United. It's some people basically worship it. It's old, guys. Apparently, I've never been to Old Trafford, but apparently, whenever it rains, it literally leaks. Like it leaks when it rains. They only applied a bit of paint on it just a few months ago because people were complaining. These fucking Glazers. Get a new stadium. I know people don't want to leave it. Let's get a new stadium, get a new training ground. Apparently, Sir David Braceford was saying that Carrington isn't fit for purpose. It is not fit for purpose, even though we use it for training. We need to move. I'm happy with such changes. Let's get a new training ground. Cristiano Ronaldo came back, one of our greatest ever players. He went to Madrid and came back, and he was complaining, saying that how the fuck are Man United still using the same equipment that we used whilst he was there under Sir Alex? Do you understand how mad that is? Ronaldo played for United. He left it in 2009 and came back in 2022 or 2021. He came back basically 12, 13 years later. And he still found the same fucking equipment we were using, the same training facilities, the same dead swimming pool, the same stadium. We need to change. Get a new pitch, get a new stadium, get a new training ground, and we'll be fine. So to answer your question, Max, I know I've gone around, but I don't think they're laughing behind our backs. I genuinely think they're trying to implement a new philosophy. They're trying to implement a new style of play. They're trying to implement new culture. Salaries are going to be more incentive based. No more just getting 200K for no reason. Your base salary should be maybe 50K. And then if you keep scoring goals, then sure. Goal bonuses, clean sheet bonuses. Such incentives to help the players perform. That's what I'm getting behind. You see, so trust me, I've got hope that things are gonna change soon. I've got hope that the things are gonna change soon. So you never know. What? Kindly banger. Where's the fancy dress party? Fancy dress party? What are you on about? Like, I don't get it. The fancy? No, I don't get it. Maybe try to elaborate what you're trying to say, bro. Anyways, Rafiq says, who do you support in the Euros? Me personally, I support Portugal. I'm South African, so I'm not that bothered who wins, to be honest. But I've always been a fan, mostly because I usually try to support the nation which has a player who I like from my club. And since I'm a Man United fan, uh, the player who I can say is my second favorite after the first version of Ronaldo was Paul Pogba. I was a massive, massive fan of Paul Pogba. I thought he was a world class player when we signed him, but again we mismanaged him. We played him in a shit club. We put him under a rubbish manager like Jose Mourinho was playing defensive football. Pogba's not sorted to playing defensive football. That's why whenever you would put him in the France squad, he would be doing a madness. But anyways, that's a story for another day. But France is a country I've gone with. Uh, Portugal I also liked because obviously Cristiano always played for United at some point. Of course, he was also in Madrid, which is my other club. So there's France, there's Portugal, but it's not that deep for me. I can't say I lose sleep over who wins it. But this year, who will I be going with? I don't know, man. England, I don't necessarily say I support them because I enjoy seeing the meltdown whenever England get knocked out of these competitions, whether it's the Euros or the World Cup. It's funny because their fans seem to cry a lot. Twitter becomes very nice. You know, they've got the whole "it's coming home." So whenever it doesn't come home, it's very funny. So I'll have to see that. Uh, but if I'm being honest, I think they might be favorites this time around, eh? The squad they've got is mad. I mean, look at their attack. They've got just striker options. They've already got Harry Kane. They've got Ivan Toney. They've got Ole Watkins, Dominic Solanke, just to mention a few. Wingers, wingers for days, bro. Got Bukayo Saka. We've got Rashford, who actually turns out for England. They've got Jack Grealish. Foden can play out on the wing. Midfield, they've got Bellingham. Foden can play there as well. They've got Rice. They've got Kobe Mainu. They're stacked. They're stacked. Right backs, don't get me started. Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker, fucking Trippier. I'm sure I forgot someone else. Left back is when they're not so great, but they've got the likes of Luke Shaw. Whenever he's fit, he does play well for them. Centre back Maguire does play well for England. John Stones excellent for England. They've got this young guy Levi Colwill for Chelsea coming through. They've got the likes of Tomori, even though the manager doesn't use him. Fikayo Tomori, good centre back from AC Milan. He left Chelsea a while ago. Um, who else? They've got good players, man. They've got a very good squad, England. Very, very good squad. But I think yet again, I'm gonna be going with France. I don't know about Portugal that much. I'm not that much interested in Portugal of late. Who else besides France? Mm, I'm interested in seeing how Nagelsmann's Germany side do, because Nagelsmann is a manager I was interested in seeing come to Man United, but obviously he's extended his contract and won't be leaving Germany, the German national team. So I think I'm interested in seeing how Germany do, but I think I'll still go with France. But I do feel England will get to minimum the semi-finals of the Euros. Not because Southgate is good because he's shit, but simply because he's got, I think he's actually got the most depth. Him and France, England and France have got the best squads. So I think I wouldn't be surprised to see England versus France in the finals, or maybe even Germany. Let's see. But let's see. Let me see what else. There's a few more comments before I go. Are you live every day? It says Rafik. No, I'm not. I usually go live on Sundays. Throughout the week it's busy, you know. There's work and stuff, so it's quite busy. It's difficult to go live. But if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, Rafik. Drop a subscribe, and if you can, maybe share the link to the channel with other football people you know, people who like football content. I try to give as much content as I possibly can, but I usually go live on Sundays. So maybe I was even thinking I might start doing it even on Saturdays, maybe if I'm free. But I know usually on Sundays is when people are free. So as you can see, the channel is still small and we're still trying to grow. So I'm also even trying to start to. I've got plans, but anyway, let me not give too much away. But basically, I go live on Sundays. So if you check around, usually it's after the Man United game. And seeing as next week Sunday is the last game of the season, I think the game's at 5 and then gonna end at 7. So around 7, after 7, that's when I'm most likely to go live. So if you're interested, try join the live. But yeah, if you haven't already, please like the video. Rafik, if you haven't liked the video, please like it. Kindly, Benga, also please like the video because I see you joined not so long ago. But yeah, also subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. Let me go through the last few comments that I left. Where's the fancy dress party? And then you said Man United. Yeah, I've got. Which team do you support, bro? Kind of bang. Which team do you support? I'm getting the feeling you don't like United. So who do you support? I've already answered Rafik. I don't want to go live every day. It's only on Sundays. Kind of banger, bro. The club is full of vultures. You're right. There's many players who are here. They're just mercenaries. They're here for the money, for a paycheck. Some of them are not necessarily vultures. It's just Man United was stupid enough to give them the big contracts, even though they didn't deserve it. Like, for example, look at Casemiro. We gave Casemiro a 5-year deal worth 350 grand a week. How the fuck is Casemiro getting 350,000 pounds a week on a 5-year deal? And I think he's 30 now. He's got another 3 years. Who sanctioned that deal? So that's what people like Ineos are there for, to stop such shit from happening again. Stop people like Anthony going from 20,000 pounds a week to 200,000 pounds a week. Anthony should be on 45,000 pounds a week max. So it's also the players who are here for money, but the club also needs to stop dishing out or giving out these big long-term contracts because for players who are not even performing. The likes of Rashford, how is he on close to 370 grand for what? He ain't performing. This season doesn't even have 10 goals. I don't think so. I know he scored 30 last season, but it's always up, down with Rashford. So we need to stop doing this nonsense and just start playing players based on. We need to give them incentive-based contracts, which apparently that's what we're looking to do. So I'm happy about that. But anyways, let me move on to the next comment. Andy Bang says the club is dead. Whoever comes in will feed on what's left. Nah, it's not dead, bro. Like I said, if you haven't, just try watch the video from the beginning. But I've basically indicated that Ineos are trying to bring on as many new people as they possibly can. Excuse me. I'm trying to bring in as many new people as they possibly can, and the people they're trying to bring in as people who are basically going to how do I put it? Change the culture of the club, whether it be financially, whether it be structural wise. We're getting a new stadium, new players, new coach, new backroom staff. All of those things that we're getting are important, and I'm happy with them. We definitely need all those changes. I mean, in as much as we're all sentimental and would like to keep Old Trafford and have it renovated, nah, I don't want that renovated nonsense. I want the best stadium. Have you seen the new Bernabeu? Real Madrid went and they actually knocked it down. They literally knocked the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu down. They crushed it. They destroyed it. They started afresh. Now they've got this crazy ass pitch which has got layers. Apparently, it can turn into a NFL football pitch. It can turn into a fucking football pitch. It can turn into a American football pitch. It can turn into a rugby pitch. They host concerts. They can race. They can apparently. I'm not sure about this, but apparently they can also do the Formula One races there, bro. That stadium is mad. When they talk about state of the art, top of like creme de la creme. There's no stadium that's gonna talk to my dream stadium, and it's about what 85,000 capacity. That's a proper stadium. I want that for Man United. Let's get the best in class. Get me a pitch which they can play basketball in. It can change into a basketball court, tennis court, American football court, pitch, proper football pitch, and fucking Olympics. They've got the Olympics coming. I'm seeing Super Sports showing 75 days to go before the Olympics start. Get me a pitch which can turn into all of that shit. Tottenham keep on hosting the likes of Beyonce, Drake, J. Cole, all of them to perform. Bring all these artists, let them come perform. That's extra revenue for the club, which is going to help with running the club, buying new players, doing all of these things. I want that. It's time to go, Old Trafford. Carrington, it's time to go. Bring the right things, the right people. I genuinely believe Ineos are going to try and implement. Now, if they don't, they don't. But I'm choosing to be positive than negative when it comes to them at least. But the first thing I need to see them do is sack that fucking prick called Ten Hag. I'm about to go. Like I said, I've been saying I have to go. Let me just go through the last few comments and I'm out, guys. Excuse me. Rafik said we've got Ronaldo. That's all. Yeah, for Portugal. I would have said Ronaldo's finished, but I can't lie. He's actually scoring, even though he's doing it in that Farmers League. That's a proper Farmers League, eh? I don't even know if it's even a Farmers League. That league is rubbish. That the Saudi Pro League, rubbish. But to be fair to him, he's scoring. I think he's got the most goals and even compared to the guys in Europe this season. So big up Ronaldo. But nah, I don't know if Portugal are gonna have enough to win it. I don't think so, to be honest. Anyways, Rafik says Portugal are unbeaten in the qualifiers. Yeah, the qualifiers are rubbish, bro. You play against pub teams, really. That's why you see England beating the likes of San Marino every year and fucking all these stupid clubs, those stupid countries, man. Anyways, Rafik says I did subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing, my G. I appreciate it. Kindly banger, bro. What's the smallest team, smelliest team, football team? I don't know. I'm assuming you're referring to clubs in England. Excuse me. I hate Liverpool. I'm a Man United fan. I hate Liverpool, so I'd say Liverpool are the smelliest. I'd say, I'd say Liverpool are the smelliest just because I hate them. So maybe if you're a bit clear with your question, but I'm just gonna say Liverpool. I hate them. So fuck Liverpool. Uh, Kindly Banger says Arsenal. You'll never walk alone. Yeah, both of them stink. Um, oh, you're a Liverpool fan. No wonder you were enjoying. No wonder you're enjoying our downfall. It makes sense now. Anyways, you guys were saying you're gonna get a quadruple this season. You're only getting a quadruple. Remember last season when you guys were cooking us? Ten Hag finished third and got a Carabao Cup. Liverpool fans were cooking us all over the show. Where are they now? Now they're celebrating the same nonsense. The same trash which we said was not good enough last season. Now they're celebrating, and Jurgen Klopp wanted to go out as a quadruple winner. He's going out with the fucking Carabao Cup. I dare Liverpool to have an open top bus for him with that Carabao Cup. Disgraceful football club. Disgraceful. Also, kindly bang, even though you're a Liverpool fan and you're a troll, please subscribe to the channel, my G, and like the video. Cause Max says Casemiro's 32, bruh. So even worse. So we fucking gave £350 a week on a 5-year deal to a 30-year-old, and we paid £70 million for him. And people wonder why I'm 10 out. Kindly bangers. Man United only played good against Liverpool. Bro, you hit us 7-0 last season, so I don't even know what happened this season. But this season, you just couldn't beat us for whatever reason. So I'm glad we stopped you. We knocked you out of the FA Cup and we stopped you winning the league, I guess. Anyways, what else was there? Apart from that 7-0, 7-up sponsored game. No, you guys always beat us, bro. Klopp has been sacking Man United managers for quite some time. It's just I don't know what happened this season, but I'm glad you didn't win. Kindly bring us. Can it turn to a kabaddi pitch? I don't know what that is, bro. What is it? What's a kabaddi pitch? I don't know what that is. Rafik says Real Madrid is the best club. Of course, they have the best stadium. Of course, exactly. Man United are the for me. I think that we are the second biggest club after Madrid, worldwide. Biggest, not best. There's a difference between biggest and best. I think we're the second biggest club. We're definitely the biggest club in England, but we have one of the shittier stadiums. We need to catch up. We definitely need to catch up. Max says let's catch up next week. Yeah, I'm assuming you're out here. I also need to go, guys. Like it's late. Kindly Banger says, bro, can I subscribe? Definitely subscribe, my G. Subscribe to the channel. It says for a truffle shot. Piss off. Bro, your ground is not crumbling. Our ground is not crumbling. Yeah, it's not crumbling. Rafik says bye, bro. Guys, it's been lovely, but it's late. It's 10:30 in South Africa. I don't know where you guys from. I don't know. Maybe you let me know in the chat. But I gotta go now. It's been lovely having you guys. It's been a very long live stream. But I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for tuning in, for you know, commenting, and all these things help with the algorithm of the channel. And again, like I said, please share the link to the channel with other you some of your football mates, whether they're rival fans or not. Come through for the banter. Come watch me cry here on my YouTube channel. Like you said, my G, Handy Banger. It's just a game. We may be rivals, but I'm grateful for your support. Rafik as well. Big. I saw you, big Maxwell. I saw you very throughout the comments, man, the whole time. So thank you so much to everyone who tuned in tonight. It's late in South Africa. I have to get some rest, get ready for work tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining my live. If you haven't already liked the video, please, if you're watching afterwards, please like the video. If you actually made it to the end, this has been a long ass live stream, more than 2.5 hours, I believe. But thank you so much again for joining the stream, and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share the video with your mates. And again, let's grow the community. Let's get to, I don't know, we're on what, 140 something subscribers. Let's try and hit 200 by the end of the month, the end of May. It's a new channel, started about 2 months ago, 9th of what, April, I believe. April, May, yeah, 9th of April. But yeah, uh, thank you so much for being with me throughout this whole stream. Again, like I said, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Peace. I am out.